You are now cruising with your boy Big Ghost Rider. Today, Monday, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a brand new day, brand new opportunities, brand new chances. Good morning, good morning. Who is that, Montano? Good morning, Montano. I appreciate you showing up and showing support and showing love. You know what I'm saying? It's a new week in America. New opportunities, man. You know what I'm saying? Brand new week. It's Monday. It's January 19th. You know what I'm saying? I want to start off the content this morning by talking about the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who speak on politics. Some of these people are motivated by their political positions. You know, if you're a Democrat and you speaking on politics, then you not only do you have a left leaning view, but you are motivated by your democratic politics. That's where your heart is. Does that make sense? I say the same thing if you a Republican, like you speaking from a place of conservatism or whatever. But I'm saying Ghost is an independent. And I think that's very important because when I speak, I don't speak in favor of a party or I don't speak in favor of a political view. I speak in favor of the American people. And I've said it once, I say it 2 times, I say it 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I've been all across this country. The only place that I have not touched with this podcast is the Mountain West and the West Coast, the absolute West Coast. Every other place in America I touched. Started in Texas. I went all across the South, almost every state in the South. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Went up to the Midwest, went out to like I'm up here in New York City on the East Coast, New England, so I cover all of America, man, talking to the people, boots around. So what I give you guys is just a pure opinion of where my heart's coming from. My heart's coming from a place of love for my country. You know what I'm saying? This is the country that my mom lives in, the country that I live in, that I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? The country where my sisters and them from. This is the America that I love, the America that you love. So I think it's important for me to explain that's where my heart's coming from. I'm a independent. I'm not a Republican. I do consider myself a conservative. I will say this as we still wait for the people to come in the stream, that no one has to take my advice. You feel that? But what I'm saying is I speak for the majority of the American people. I really believe that. I really feel that. I feel like if people come in this live stream and they listen to me, I think they'll get a good idea of where the majority of the American people are at. And that's important. So that being said, that being my introduction, I'm going to say this morning, we're going to get to talking about President Trump. We're going to talk about President Trump's immigration policies and how those immigration policies will affect him in the midterm elections. I said it once, I said it 2 times, I said it 3 times. That it's not what I feel, it's what I know. And you don't have to listen to me, but I'm telling you, we're going to find out. The majority of the American people, if they go with the Democrats and the Democrats take control, it don't even have to be a majority. If the Democrats take control of the House, I want you guys, your mind to go back to 2020 and 2021, how President Trump's administration left the White House. I think that's what's going to happen this time. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Legal Wars Live. Happy Monday. Y'all cruising with your boy, Big Ghost Rider. It's important to know that y'all cruising with me, okay? That being said, if you have not liked the video, I ask that you'll like the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. Where we're starting off today, guys, a new Gallup poll says a new high of 45% of Americans identify as political independence. What does that mean, Ghost? More independents lean Democrat than Republican, giving Democrats an edge in party affiliation for the first time since 2021. So that's saying the majority of the independents now, they're leaning towards the Democrats. What are we talking about? Okay. A record high 45% of U.S. adults identify as political independents in 2025. Surprising. The 43% measured in 2014, 2023, and 2024. An annual share of U.S. adults, 27% apiece, identify as either Democrats or Republicans. So, guys, if y'all are Democrats or Republicans, I just want to let y'all know y'all could just jump down off y'all high horse. Because you guys know that Democrats and Republicans, I'm not putting it on one side or the other. It's both sides. Democrats and Republicans are very volatile about their positions and how they feel. You know what I'm saying? And I will say it's two-party system, but the majority of the American people are sick of the Republican Party. The majority of the American people are sick of the Democratic Party. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We started seeing that with Barack Obama. Guys, listen, I grew up, okay? Well, since I was a child raised in Mississippi in the South, I was told by my black mother and other black leaders that we will never have a black president. That's not identity politics. That's simple facts. I'm stating the facts. This has nothing to do with race. Never have a black president. I'm saying hope and change for America was a young president like JFK or a young president like a Bill Clinton. It wasn't a black man. All the presidents white. You see what I'm saying? But what happens is that the people get tired of the politicians, the politics as usual, and their lies. That has nothing to do with President Bush personally. It has nothing to do with President Ronald Reagan. It has nothing to do with President Clinton. People just wanted a change. We went through the Great Recession during the end of President Bush's term, and Americans, they were tired of politics as usual. So they voted for change. That's where Barack Obama comes in, okay? Never told we would never have a black president. America picks a black president. What you trying to say, Ghost? I think the same thing is going on. I think when people voted for President Trump, they voted for change. Do you guys agree or not? A lot of independents, a lot of moderates, a lot of swing voters in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Arizona, in Pennsylvania, they voted for Barack Obama and Donald Trump. That's someone on the left, that's someone on the right. And the reason why I'm saying they did that is because they're tired of change. Whether you're going to lean to the right or you're going to lean to the left, Americans won't change. They're tired of politics as usual. And we see that in a new Quinnipiac poll that shows that the majority of Americans, 45%, are independents. A brand new high. People want something different. And I think that's why Barack Obama won. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's why President Trump won. And I think that's what Big Ghostwriter been telling y'all the entire time. I feel like that if a politician listens to me, I'm the voice of the people. Now, that politician don't have to listen to me. No politician has to listen to my advice or nobody's advice. No politician has to the people, but what I'm trying to tell you guys this morning is that the people are the boss. And I think the politicians forget that. So I'm transitioning to my next point, guys. I'm freestyling. Bear with me. Let me litigate my case. The people are the boss. If the majority of the people, if you run a poll and the majority of the people are saying a certain thing, that's what it should be. That's what it's going to be. Because the people have the final say. This is a representative government. You feel what I'm saying? That being said, we're going to go ahead and get to our topic. So we know the majority of the voters are independent. So if you are on the Republican, don't think that you big, bad, and special because you won an election. That's because the majority of us, the silent majority, chose to go with your party. But when I'm saying that we have midterm elections in November, okay, so let's start getting into some stats and some numbers into the midterm election in November. I'm going to tell you historically, the Democrats in this position, the incumbent party, which is the Republicans, historically will have a difficult time in the midterm elections. That's just history. That's just facts. But we run a generic congressional poll, and in a generic congressional poll right now, we see in the midterm elections that's coming up in November, the Democrats are ahead of Republicans 46.5% to 42.3%. That's according to Real Clear polling. So the Democrats got a 4-point lead. You know what I heard Speaker Johnson say? I heard Speaker Johnson say that, hey, at this time in 2018, when the Democrats won 10 seats, the Democrats had more than a 4-point lead. Maybe they did, but you still got over 7 months to the election, number one. And number two, why would you want them to have any kind of lead? This ain't nothing against Speaker Johnson. This ain't nothing against Secretary Noem. Ain't nobody got to take my advice, but the American people are the boss. Bottom line, on every single poll that you run on immigration today, the American people do not like President Trump's administration enforcement of immigration law. That's facts. So it's like, what do you go by? Do you go by what you feel or what you might even know is right? That's what I'm saying. I don't have no problems against Secretary Noem personally. This ain't nothing personal. I'm just an independent, the majority, remember? The voice of the people. So I'm telling you what the people think and how the people feel. That's what my voice is. I'm just an average disabled veteran, an average American, a conscientious observer of what's going on and what's going on with ICE tactics. I don't care what you say. All y'all Republicans, y'all 27% of the electorate. That's why I started where I started, to hold my argument firm with what I'm saying. I know how to litigate a case, boy. 27% of y'all Democrats, I don't even care what the Democrats saying. I don't care what Mayor Frost saying. I don't care what Governor Walz saying. I don't care what Secretary Noem saying. I'm telling you what the American people saying, because the American people are the boss. This is a representative government. And the American people are saying, by and large, they do not like President Trump the way President Trump is enforcing that immigration policy. Period. It's nothing to argue about. I'm saying, what are we arguing about? Who the boss? Some of these politicians forget. Some of these politicians ain't even aware. But let me ask every politician in America, not just Republicans, not just President Trump's cabinet, I'm talking the Democrats too. Who the boss? Your constituents are the boss. If you are in Congress, in the House of Representatives, let me tell you what's going to happen in 2 years. In 2 years, you're going to be running that same election, talking to them same constituents, asking them to vote for you again. If you a senator, 6 years. And if you on President Trump, if you are 4 years, the people are the boss. So if the majority of the people, and this ain't no knock against President Trump, because I got sources to where I heard, you guys know I consume a whole lot of media, that President Trump has viewed the way the immigration policy enforcement looks to the people. Optics is everything in politics. The people are your boss. I'm just trying to get everyone on the same page. I don't think we on the same page. I think that's the problem. This ain't got nothing to do with Secretary Noem personally. I don't want nobody to listen to my advice. I'm just going to tell you the facts, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after. Listen, this is what I'm saying. When the weatherman get out there and he report the news, he not what advice? He ain't trying to get you to listen to no advice. You don't have to. When the weatherman report the weather, he going to come out there and he going to say it's an 87% chance of Hurricane 5 hitting Biloxi, a Category 5 storm hitting Biloxi, Mississippi. So, yeah, the weather department, they do give advice. They say at this point, we would advise you to leave Biloxi, Mississippi, because Hurricane Katrina coming through finna smash everything. We advise you. You don't have to listen to my advice. I'm predicting the storm. Does that make sense to y'all? That's what I'm doing. I'm predicting the storm. There's a storm coming in November for Republicans. There's a Hurricane 5 on the I don't care what the polls say. I'm telling you, the people. Because Mike said, listen, Mike Speaker Johnson, that might only be a 4-point lead. But what about all the new voters, the low propensity voters that the Democrats are recruiting? We not count none of them voters. That's number one. And number two, y'all never forget what happened in 2022. I know in 2024, they once again underestimated President Trump, once again, for the third time. He overperformed the polls. President Trump did. But what I'm trying to let y'all know, in 2022, the Republican Party didn't overperform the polls. What happened in 20? They underperformed. So that 4-point lead is much bigger than that. If you don't want to listen to ghosts, you don't have to. I'm a voice for the majority of the voters are independent, 45%. I'm trying to tell y'all, you don't have to listen to me. And that being said, what's the importance of the midterms, y'all? What's the importance? The importance of the midterms is, shall we remember 2020 and 2021, when the Democrats right now, a lot of you guys don't understand government, the Democrats don't have no power. They can't bring articles of impeachments. They can't bring investigations. They can't even bring no bills to the floor. They couldn't. The reason you don't get no vote on the ACA, you got to go through the Republicans because they control everything. A lot of people don't understand that. But for the people who don't understand that, the people who do President Trump and them, just remember 2020. The Democrats take control, they're going to be at your neck. They're going to be at your throat. That's what's coming. So I'm saying that your immigration policies, while many of Americans, if not all of Americans, agree with President Trump's immigration policy, the enforcement, we do not agree with it, period. That's the majority of the American people speaking. You got a storm coming. You ain't got to take my advice. You could do whatever you want to do. That's on you. I'm just predicting. I'm not against you. This ain't personal. I just speak with passion about the facts. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. You could tell somebody they got the richest people in the world. I'm telling you, this is how society is today. You could tell somebody the richest person in the world finna come to your community, and you will have 2,000 people show up. Now you tell them that somebody just got shot on the head in the internet. And I'm telling you, every little kid, every tech guy, the old people gonna look too. Everybody want to see. You gonna have everybody in America before it's over with gonna see them ICE agents shooting Renee Good. Yes, you right. They were agitators. Yes, you right. They shouldn't have been there. Yes, you right. None of that matters. You got to get where I'm at. That's the problem. We're not on the same page. I don't care nothing about what no Democrats saying. None of that matters. The Republicans can be right. Secretary Noem, you can be right. None of that matters. Listen, let me explain something to you. Me as a black man, if I have a federal agent telling me to stop and get out the car, what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to be piping at them too. Piping them down with my tongue, giving them a good tongue lash. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop that car and I'm going to get out the car. I definitely won't put it in the drive. So if Secretary, knowing what you saying, ain't nobody saying you wrong. I'm not against you, fundamentally. But still in all, the two wrongs don't make a right. You don't shoot no unarmed white woman in her face. In the Midwest, you got Michigan and Wisconsin in the Midwest, Minnesota right there. That's going to lose you. That's guarantee you a loss in the midterms because it matters. all 200, 300 million people watch that video, bro. I'm talking about, look, in Denmark, in Greenland, Greenland. They out there with signs when they talking about President Trump taking over their country. They out there with signs protesting ICE in Greenland. In Iran, Khomeini, Alatonia, wherever that dude name is. I guarantee you he done seen that ICE agent shooting that girl in the face in Iran. They seen it in Australia, boy. They seen it everywhere. You represent America. It matters about how it appears and what the people seeing. Get out your feelings. It ain't about your feelings. And don't listen to me. You got a Hurricane 5 coming, Republican Party, and it's on the way. November, it's going to be here. All the signs, you getting all the signs. Listen, let me tell you something. Once the people lose confidence in you, I'm saying it's a perfect storm for the Republicans to get demolished. I ain't talking about 10 seats. I'm thinking it's going to be 15, 20 seats. Listen, when the people turn against you, they are cognizant of the fact that President Trump will remain the president. People, the most American people who are voting, they voted before. So they're a little familiar with politics. You understand that? They know President Trump's still going to be the president. We talking about the independents, the majority of the voters. I'm not talking about your 27% of maggots or MAGAs or your 27% of Democrats. I'm talking about the majority of the voters, the very majority of the voters. They know and they understand President Trump's going to be the president, but they don't want girls getting shot in the face by ICE agents. So why wouldn't we vote for the Democrats to give them some checks and balances? Why wouldn't we? I'm talking about the common sense independent, the voter in the middle, purple Pennsylvania, all the way blue. Promise you that. Purple Michigan, all the way blue, especially when you getting girls shot in the face. How's that helping you? We're right. What we're saying, we got to enforce the law. The people are the boss. The majority of the people wanted you to enforce the law. Duh. That's not you. They think they got a mandate. 47% of the electorate is far from a mandate. But yeah, you won the election, and the majority of the people were in favor of you of your policy. Ain't nobody, I don't know how many people, not many people have problems with President Trump's policies. Because what he's saying on the surface is right. There's a reason he's saying we need Greenland. He not articulating it. That's why he losing the argument and looking bad. That's why he got Republican senators, Senator Bacon, saying if he go military action against a NATO ally, they're going to remove him from office because he's not articulating. But some military people probably coming to him and telling him a necessity for having Greenland. So he might have a reason to have Greenland. He not articulating it. That's what I'm saying. Who against your... Well, listen, his policy, what he's saying is right. If you let 15 million people illegally into America, there's no way he can remove all 15 million of them. I'm talking about if he got Republicans, independents, Democrats, everybody working together to remove all 15 million people. I'm talking about, I don't care how much money he put in ICE budget. It's going to be hard pressed to you know how you got to understand what you're saying. You removing 15 million people legally, papers, due process back to in 4 years, bro. Come on. Mission impossible. But what I'm trying to tell you is the policy. We don't care about no policy. We care about the enforcement and the way it looks, the enforcement of those policies. The American people are completely against it. You got 53% to 30% of the people, over 20% of the people who've seen it and paid attention, over a majority of the American people think that you murdered that girl. Listen. If I got a poll on any kind of shooting that happens with an ICE agent, I would want that poll to say 20 to 30% or less of people think it was a murder. You talking a murder? A murder? Yeah, a murder. They think that you murdered her. 53% of the people. There's consequences for these actions. And like I said a second ago, or if I didn't say a second ago, good morning, Titan Brew. Good morning, Donnie. If you guys have not liked the video, please double tap your screen. If you're on the cell phone, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Republicans, Independents, Democrats, jump down in the comments. Let your voices be heard. What you think? 5 to 10 seats minimum. Republicans are due to lose. Minimum. I think it's going to be worse than that. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think a Hurricane 5 is coming for the Republicans in November. I don't think they can't even see it, nowhere close to see it. Mike Johnson walking around celebrating a 3.4-point loss. That lets you know that he's saying if we only down by 3 or 4 points after all this, that's what he really saying. See, Ghost listening. He's celebrating that. But if you look in the 2025 elections, what happened? I'm talking about Democrats cleaning and sweeping house. If you look at the enthusiasm, that's what we look at. Because that lets you know, forget a poll. Anybody could call for a survey and you tell them something. They call me for a survey, I'll tell them anything and no, I ain't finna go vote for nothing. You feel me? We talking about who really out there voting and that enthusiasm. The Democrats got over a double-digit lead in enthusiasm. And if we look at what it looked like on the ground, the application, the practical application of it, the Democrats cleaning the house in special elections in 2025, and it's not going to get any different. Heading, and this is a Quinnipiac poll, heading into a year with a midterm elections, 10% of voters, listen to me, that's got to be a typo. That's got to be a typo, big ghostwriter. Yes, it is. 18% of voters approve of the way the Democrats in Congress are handling their job. 18% according to Quinnipiac. So as a Republican, you saying, yay! 18% approve of how the Democrats handling their job, but you ain't doing no numbers. You ain't got no analysis. Back up. They leading you by 4 points. What? Break that down for us, Ghost. Only 18% of Americans approve of how the Democrats are doing their jobs, yet and still they are defeating the Republican parties in the midterm polling by 4 points. That tell you everything you need to know. Who the boss? You the boss? You the big boss. You the big boss. You untouchable. You can't be touched. You ain't got to listen to Ghostwriter. Who is that dude? Why I'm going to take his advice? I ain't going to listen to him. You got a storm coming. You got a Hurricane 5 coming. It's on the way in November. The weatherman, when he got up there and he was telling them people in New Orleans that this storm, Hurricane Katrina, gonna be a storm that we ain't never seen. He not asking you to listen to his advice. That's not what time this is. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not asking you to be my friend. That go for you, Jasmine. That go for Secretary Noem. That go for President Trump. I got love for all three of them. I ain't on nothing personal. I know that's why I started to stream the way I did. People got attentions. It's about where their heart is. If I was a Democrat and I was speaking and Secretary Noem caught a whiff of what Ghost saying, she could say, well, hey, he a Democrat. That's where his heart is. My heart ain't with the Democratic Party. My heart is with who? Y'all say it for me. Say it with me. The American people. The people. If I was a Republican, you might be more apt to listen to what I'm saying if you President Trump. But my heart ain't with the Republican Party. But because it's not with the Republican Party, it's not against the Republican Party. Y'all say it for me one time for the people in the back, for the slow ones who can't understand who my heart with, y'all, who it's about. Thank y'all. The people. You feel me? Who the boss? This is a representative government. Say it for me one time. Representative government. That means that President Trump got his authority from who, guys? The boss. Who the boss? Say it for me one time. Y'all don't understand the way this game's set up because I got a better understanding than you. I don't care what your power is. You can pop all you want to pop your mouth. The people in charge. In November, they going to show y'all that. You going to get a reminder. Some of y'all politicians going to get a reminder in November who in charge, but you can listen to the weatherman or you can hunker down in New Orleans in your house and get swept up by that flood. One of the two. Listen, we stayed in our house through Hurricane Katrina. We live in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. It's right next to Biloxi, Mississippi, and I can promise y'all I lived through that, and that is the most terrifying weather event that I've ever experienced in my entire life. The most terrifying. Hearing those 120 plus mile winds whipping against that house, but we survived it. Hey, President Trump, hey, Secretary No, hey, you might survive it, might. You might. But we rolled right down the street after the storm in the Biloxi and the highway gone. The bridge is gone. It looked like a war zone. Got demolished. There's a Hurricane 5 coming in November to the Republican Party. You finna get demolished. Because you don't know who the boss is. You think you in charge. You're not in charge. The people, we in charge. We elect you to represent us and to run our government with our tax dollars. Yeah. You missing something, ma'am and sir. You not the boss. We the boss. You just got the position because you was given it. But just like you could be given it, it could be taken from you as well. Yeah. Because it's about the people. If you listen to the people, you will never have a problem. It's just that Ghost is just, I'm just more, listen, I study political science. I'm just giving y'all a rundown. I study political science. I got 169 college credits. I'm a legal person, independent paralegal, business license, degree and everything. Legit. Business in good standing over 3 years. Okay? I done travel all over America talking to the, I'm the most, that for the voice for you to listen to. So I'm part of the people. I'm an independent. That's the majority of the people. You don't got to listen to me though. You ain't got to. It ain't about taking my advice. I'm just telling you a storm coming. You ain't got to take my advice. This ain't about my advice. I don't have no ego thing. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get back to it. The Democrats might only have 18% approval rate, but they beating you by 4 points with that 18%. So they 18%, you beneath that. The party who just won the election. Why is that? No one disagree with your enforcement. Yeah, we understand you do got a right to enforce the law. I'm not Mayor Fry or I'm not Governor Walz. You do got a right to enforce the law. It's just we don't like that way we don't like the way you doing it. In today's poll among Democrats, 42% approve of the way their members of their own party in Congress are handling their job. For majority of Democrats disapprove how their party handling their job, but they still vote Democrat. Independents still vote Democrat. It's a storm coming. 58% of Democrats approve the way the Democrats in Congress handling their job October 22nd. 35% of voters approve of the way the Republicans in Congress handling their job. So the Republicans in Congress, they got a higher approval rating than the Democrats. And Quinnipiac, make that make sense. The Republicans in Congress almost got a double higher approval rating than the Democrats do. So like Ghost saying, Speaker Johnson being right or wrong, that's irrelevant in this situation. You right. Say you right. You got a higher approval rating. More people approve of how you doing your job than the other side. You right. Secretary Noem, you right. President Trump, you right. It's a storm on the way, though. You're not getting it. It don't matter if you right or wrong. It matters how the majority of the electorate is viewing what you're doing. That's what matters. Because the people are the boss. Look, this is what it is. You got appointed to your position, okay? Say you the president of the company. Let's say a vice president. You the vice president of the company. You a salaried employee. You get $200,000 a year. So say you had some situations going on in your business and you going to the board and you trying to explain to the board and you know you right with what you saying, but the board not seeing it the way you seeing it. What you gonna do? That's the question of President Trump. The board or the people. And regardless of whether you right or wrong, regardless of whether Mayor Fry, I'm trying to get y'all to a certain position in the train of thought. Y'all politicians and y'all candidates. Because if y'all thought like this, you would govern a lot better, I promise you. Because you don't have to listen to ghosts. There's consequences for your actions. You think it's okay to shoot unarmed white women in the face during an election year, then hey, that says everything it needs to say. If you think it's okay to shoot an unarmed white woman in the face next to two purple states, Michigan and Wisconsin, in between them, and you think it's okay to shoot unarmed white women in the face during the election year, just knock yourself out. When you are the incumbent party and only 4 times in modern history y'all gain seats or held seats. It's a history of y'all losing seats. It don't matter how good you do and who the president is. Last time, you see what happened last time when you were president, you got more controversial. It ain't the Minneapolis police with their neck on the knee of a black man for 9 minutes. It's ICE, the federal government, shooting a white girl in the face. Bro, you don't think that matters? That matters. It's big. The American people, they don't trust your enforcement. You going after American citizens. I'm saying, y'all, Joe Rogan, big independent. Joe Rogan, big independent. I talked to a 21-year-old this morning up here in New York who said he voted for President Trump, but was completely dissatisfied with what his daddy or whoever the older gentleman with him was, you know what I'm saying? He had harsher words to say about President Trump. You know, he seemed like he was more with a party, but these young ones, 21, 18, 23, 24, never voted before. I love hearing their opinions. So he obviously cares about politics at 21, and he said he voted for President Trump. He like a Hispanic young man or black young man, and we've seen a lot of that. But they're not going to vote for nobody in Congress, I promise you, on the Republican side. The majority of them, it's not happening. And I'm saying you keep going out there. Listen, Mayor Fry, look, you cannot be slower you can't be that slow. They sitting there, they know. They looking at the polls. That's the difference about the Democrats this time. They poll watching. They got more of they tap more into how the people feeling, right? You feel that? So it's no way in the world that you could think what's going on, especially if you send troops, you're just making it worse. And Mayor Fry and Governor Walz are antagonizing, and they gonna sit there and antagonize you, and they antagonizing you, and you right, and you know you right, and none of that matters. You getting cream crop because the American people, they know you being too aggressive, and for some reason you don't care. The majority of the poll, President Trump, I know this personally. President Trump said he wasn't happy with the way it looks, that enforcement looks with the people. The majority of the people are against that. Look at any poll. You can't deny that. You look at the Fox polls. The majority of the people are against your enforcement. Real Clear Politics, Quinnipiac, any polls that we trust as being neutral, Rasmussen polls, let's look at them. The majority of the people do not like the way you enforcing that policy. It's not about being right or wrong. It's not about your policy. We with you on your policy. We with you on your policy. Independents, conservative leaning, but they saying most of the independents leaning towards the Democrats. If y'all haven't liked the video, go ahead, double tap your screen, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Among Republicans, 77% approve of the way the members of their own party are handling their jobs. So the majority of Republicans, they approve of the Republican Party. The majority of Democrats, not so much. They don't approve of their own party. I guess that's why on their side, you see Bernie Sanders and AOC running 1,000 candidates. 1,000 candidates, guys. If the elections were held today, according to Quinnipiac, 47% of voters say they would want to see the Democratic Party win control of the House of Representatives, while 43% want to see the Republican win. So regardless of all of that, how good the Republicans are doing, how right the Republicans are, none of that matters. You ain't got to listen to my advice. I'm not giving you advice. I'm telling you a hurricane coming. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to win your approval. I'm looking out for you. A hurricane coming. Y'all understand this. Nancy Pelosi, thank y'all for the donations. If y'all want to donate to the channel, hit that button with the $ in it, and your donation are much appreciated. How many of us thought that we would see the day that Nancy Pelosi is retiring? Not just her, a whole slate of members of Congress are retiring. This is something that I have not seen in a long time in Congress. Definitely during my time and my age and my period. You know what I'm saying? I seen people like Robert Kennedy, rest in peace, John McCain, rest in peace, great senators, but they usually died in the position or something like that, or they died right after they retired. But I'm saying it's like a purging going on in Congress. People are tired. They're tired of Republicans, Democrats, they're tired of it. We saw even Marjorie Taylor Greene, we saw her retire. Young, fit in her 50s. She out of there. She said, I'm out of here. They tired of it, man. I heard even senators like Lindsey Graham. Y'all think about this. Lindsey Graham is a lion in the Senate. I don't want to call what I was watching on, but he was up only by a couple of points in a mock poll, bro. Like having problems, asking the people to donate to him. Lindsey Graham, bro, they trying to get him. They trying to run these people out of politics. That's the people, that's the voters. The voters are in control. You got to understand that the voters are the boss. You could think of somebody with as much power and as much influence as Lindsey Graham, and he might not be in the Senate no more. How can you do that? By the people. Don't forget who the boss is. Not only him, what about John Cronin? I'm talking about he goated in the state of Texas. He goated up in the state of Texas. He having a fight of his life with Paxton, a guy who been a convicted felon, if I'm not mistaken. That boy was charged with felonies. And you got John Cronin, I'm talking about having the most difficult time of his life with Paxton. And you know why that is? It's because Americans, they are ready for change, man. Since Obama days. You know what I'm saying? It's like people, they be forgetting, but I'm focused. I stay zoned in like, man, dummy. You know what I'm saying? I be zoned in and focused on that political point. And that political point has changed. It ain't never changed. It's the same thing with Barack Obama. The people still wanted change, and Donald Trump represented change for the Republicans. He wasn't saying hope and change. He was talking a lot different. But think about it. He's a businessman. He ain't no regular politician. He might be now. We see he is now. But at the time when he first come in, he don't know nothing really about politics. So they wanted something different. They voted for him. Joe Biden was everything but or besides different. And that's why President Trump, that's the only reason President Trump is still got back in there. Don't get it confused. But I'm saying if the Democrats come with a candidate talking about change, it could be Gavin Newsom. But I think AOC is going to surprise y'all and do really well with her messaging as well. Because if they're not linked or viewed with the establishment and they're talking about change, that message is work. 45% of Americans, we started off with this, identify as independent. That's an all-time high. You know what that's saying? We don't want nothing to do with the Republicans. We don't want nothing to do with the Democrats. We tired of them. The Democrats lead Republicans by about 4 points to the polls in the midterm elections, but the Democrats, their approval rating is very low. And the Republicans' approval rating amongst their own party is higher, yet still they losing. You know what that's telling me? The American people, we tired of the Republicans. We tired of the Democrat. We don't know. Listen, it's like this. If all you could do is go left or all you could do is go right, it's like, what do? It's the American people, they don't have no other choice. They either could vote left or they could go vote right. They tired of the Democrats and they tired of the Republicans. They're tired of politics as usual. They voted for President Trump thinking something was going to be different, but they seen how it was in the first term. But their only other option was VP Harris, but they really didn't know VP Harris. She didn't have a time to run a full election. So it's like they almost just had to do something that they really didn't want to, but they went with it. Now, I'm saying if you have the correct view of this, you got to get some wisdom and get out your feelings. If you a Republican, this ain't nothing personal against Secretary Noem. Guys, if y'all know, I started off with a lot of praise and love for Secretary Noem, and I still got praise and love for her. It's just this who goes is. I'm going to just tell it like it is. I'm not, because I got praise and love for you, don't mean I'm going to say that ICE is doing a fantastic job. They might be. That's not how I look with the American people. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, y'all know how much love I got for Jasmine Crockett, that comment about slavery. If she made that comment, if it was after March the 3rd, I wouldn't have liked that. I would have commented on it. But it ain't no sense in commenting on it because that works in a primary with her base, and she trying to fire up the Democrats and her base. She good at that. But after March the 3rd, she won that primary, and it's the general election. Those words become much more important. This ain't got nothing to do with whether I like you or dislike you. It's a storm coming for the Republican Party. I'm just a weatherman. That's all it is. You got to get your mind in the right place. You got 47% of the vote, and a lot, not the majority, but a lot of that are independents and moderates. And new voters like that 21-year-old that I talked to today in New York, that young Hispanic and black mixed man, who 21 and said, hey, I voted for him because you don't have to explain yourself, sir, why you voted for him. A lot of people voted for him. But what I'm saying is they're not happy with the job that's being done. That spells a storm coming for the Republicans in November. You could laugh, you could do whatever you want to do. You could cry, you could shout, and you could scream. That's what I tell my opponents when they sue them. I don't care what you do, it's irrelevant. What you gonna do with the truth? Tomorrow it's gonna snow. Ain't nobody care how you feel about that. I had plans the last 2 days, they got crushed by the snow. It's gonna snow. What I'm going to do? You crying ain't going to change the fact it's going to snow. You laughing or being for it, it's not going to change the fact that Hurricane Katrina coming. You got to adjust. You got to adapt. That's what politics is about. Okay, I got a plan for the American people. You a president. or vice president on the board. You got a plan. You know you right. Your plan is right, but the board say we don't want that or we don't like that. The representative government, you representing the people. The people saying that we don't like that, we don't want that. What you gonna do? Listen, Kristi Noem, her heart is in the right place. I believe she's a good person. Now, I know a lot of Democrats don't like that. They want to impeach her, yada, 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 yada. But as I said, I'm not a Democrat, and my heart is in the right place. But I think Kristi Noem is a good person. But I'm saying, listen, though, Secretary Noem, like, you just got to think about how people think. Like, we hearing you talking about child molesters and getting them, and we thinking that half of is child molesters, half of the leadership in the cabinet, White House, America, half of them on the Epstein list, half of everybody child molesters. Your leaders child molesters. So I'm hearing you say, oh, we're going after child molesters. You ain't going after your leaders. They child molesters too. Half of them, bruh. I'm talking about when that was my age, they had 14-year-old girls sitting on their laps. Got pictures of them with 16-year-olds and they 50 sitting on their lap, hanging with a dude who having sex with any. He got children in bondage. He ain't just sleeping with the little young girls and letting them leave. He got them in bondage. He got them in slavery. Half of your leaders on that list. So when you talking to us as American people and we hear you say that you going after child molesters, but when y'all start caring about child molesting and going after the people, it don't sound authentic. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't sound authentic. I'm saying maybe it would with President Biden and them was in there. The Epstein thing wasn't the problem. They shoot and foo-fooed it. But for some reason, MAGA wouldn't let President Trump do it because he was trying to shoot it and foo-foo it too. I guess because President Biden's name wasn't on the list. And so the people don't want to hear that being shoot and foo-foo. There's been a law passed, and 90% of what's on the Epstein file have been released, and you talking about child molesters. You going after child molesters in Minnesota like you care so much about child molesters, and half the people who giving you your directive, they on the Epstein list with the child molesters. These your leaders who giving you the directive to go after child molesters, they child molesters. Secretary Noem, it just don't sound authentic to the voters, and you don't care. You don't gotta care. But I'm saying, Secretary Noem, you ain't on no ballot. That's what I'm saying. But you could lose power in November because of this situation, what I'm talking about. You lose power before November. If the Democrats take over, it's on and popping. You gonna understand what I'm saying. This ain't President Trump wants you to enforce the law. He don't want no girl to get shot in the face. Cause look, you might be mad because the Democrats are doing. Do you right? This ain't about Mayor Fry. They stopping you. They blocking you. What you saying? You might be right. That's not gonna stop you from losing 10 seats though. That's not gonna stop the Democrats and Hakeem Gavel from being. Cause you right. You don't understand. That don't mean nothing. Cause you right. Every case in court I filed, I was right. But I still lost 2 of them. I filed a case in Tennessee not too long ago. I was right. The judge wouldn't even serve it. Because you right. What that mean? You know how many cases people file in court, they right, they be losing them? Because you right don't mean nothing. That's not how this works. It's not about who right and who wrong. That's not how it works. The Democrats, they aware of that, and they finna dog walk. Because you ain't getting it. That's what it's about, bro. And you got some God to send somebody for you to hear. Oh, I'm going to take your advice. You and your feelings. Now, I'm not in my feelings. I'm saying when them November come and when you getting impeached and when they moving you or when President Trump firing you, it's not going to mean no difference to me. I'm going to be talking the same way because I care about this land is your land. This your land is my land, from California to the New York Island. I care about my country. That's it. My mama stay here. My little nephew stay here. My nieces stay here. My sister stay here. My daddy and his whole clan in Houston stay here. This is our country. This is our land. I care about my country. It don't matter. See, you don't, my heart, like, that's why I said everything I said. My heart, I'm coming from the right place. You don't have to listen to me. Hurricane 5, Hurricane Katrina will be here. Y'all count the days. 186 T minus what? Hurricane Katrina will be here, and we're going to see how it go then. President Trump, he know it. Like I said, I got sources. President Trump, he don't like the way that enforcement looks. President Trump is whether you like him or lump him, you got to admit he turned out to be a shrewd politician. That boy a good politician. And I think because he worked with people, or he was like in Hollywood or whatever, he's really good with the people. So he got a good heartbeat on the heartbeat that he could tell. So he know that, man, they ain't feeling this. I don't know if it's Barron Trump. I don't know if it's Don Jr. It might be Ivanka. It might be Melania. Somebody in his family, I guess because they have Democrats, used to be Democrats, New York Republicans, somebody around him, they got a good, outside of his cabinet and the ones you hear on TV piping, somebody around, they got a heartbeat, the feel of what, he tapping into that feel from somewhere, because he say, nah, how can it look, what? Listen, unless something wrong with your heart. Because Mayor Fry got people out here against me, I'm not going to never want to see a Renee Good or any kind of person get shot in the face by a federal agent, whether she was running her car towards him or not. He got out the way of the car. If he wouldn't have took one shot, then what would have happened if he wouldn't have took a shot? You could have arrested her down the road and that girl will still be alive. You can't lie to the American people. Your payday coming. Hurricane 5 coming. You see what I'm saying? Talking about going after child molesters. When y'all start caring about child molesters and the people who got you saying this, they on the list with the child molesters. So when America started caring about children being molested, y'all, and then on top of that, you got lists to where they could get dealt with all the child molesters, but the only one you want to go after is Bill Clinton. You playing some politics. You playing politics with Bill Clinton. Instead of going after real child molesters, but all of a sudden, if they black or brown, now you want to go after child molesters because they black or brown. But if they white and rich, then you could molest children if you white and rich. How I'm being racist? How is this identity politics? How isn't this facts? All the men on the Epstein list, are they black and brown? I'll wait for you. Y'all, you want to talk about facts this morning, or you don't care about facts? I thought you cared about what's right and wrong because Mr. or Mrs. Republican, y'all are right. But this what you wrong on. How many people on the Epstein list are black or brown? How many of them are white and rich? So what you telling me, Secretary Noem, when I hear you keep talking about child molesters and sexual predators, which we all want to see go in jail, just not the way you doing. We want to see them go to jail, just not snatching American people and shooting people in the face because they agitating you in the meantime. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all the black and brown people who molest children, yeah, they go to jail. Even the ones who ain't molesting children, you gonna harass them. But all the white rich men, you let them go and be leaders and presidents and everything else, and you give them passes to molest children. American people are tired of your politics. We tired of the Republicans. We tired of the Democrats. We tired of y'all liars. We tired of seeing people get murdered. And we tired of y'all covering it up. We sick of y'all. We sick of y'all trash. We just ain't got nothing else to do. All we could do is go pull a leverage so we confused. We support 18%. Only 18 of us support Democrats, but it's like we got to choose that. Nah, we not picking that. We voting against that, even though we don't like that either. We tired of all of y'all. We sick of it. Period. And if you don't understand that energy in the American people, then I'm going to just call your storm. Whatever your storm is, when it's coming, if you a candidate and a politician, I'm going to call it for you. God sent me here to speak truth to power, baby. That's all I do. I don't step on people smaller than me. I'm not you. I don't believe in shooting none on. I would rather that agent to get his foot ran over and that girl to live. You shouldn't have chose the job, sir. It's a dangerous job. You killing the people paying your taxes. You arresting the people who paying you. And your job is what? Immigration, customs, and enforcement. So you're supposed to be going after illegals, not just black and brown. You got a lot of white illegals in the country too. You don't never talk about them European illegals though, never. So that's what I'm saying here. Jasmine's saying slavery, slave patrols. I mean, we ain't gonna say that after March 3rd, but I just know her. She a better politician. I heard some dude on Fox said if you had the gall to vote for Jasmine, you ain't got no brain. Y'all just racist, bro, and y'all pathetic. Y'all are racist, ignorant, and pathetic. That's why I don't even want to say that because I don't want to put President Trump in there, but Barack Obama showed y'all what it is. The first black president ever was 1,000 times better than 90% of your white presidents, and I don't want to be like that. Look at what he inherited. I'm talking about almost a decade of consecutive job growth. Beloved by the people, beloved. Even the Republicans who don't like Democrats, they kind of okay with Obama. What's up, Miami? Come on, man. That boy cool as a fan. I'm not saying you ain't either President Trump, but it's your approach. Obama wouldn't be for no police officers shooting no unarmed woman in the face, and especially not no white woman, and especially not in the Midwest where y'all probably need. Man, don't get me started. And you talking about your feelings, you and your feelings. This ain't got nothing to do with no feelings. If you can't talk and understand what it is, because this is our country. This land is your land. This is our country. And if you don't care about somebody with passion who care about his country, that's on you. Don't listen to me. Your Hurricane Katrina is fast on its way. You know how many people knew that Hurricane Katrina was coming before it came? Let's be honest. In New Orleans, since y'all want to hate on president, but now I'm on y'all black people. Now I'm going to get on the black people. I don't care who you are. I'm indiscriminate with this truth. Listen to me. This truth is indiscriminate. You're rare to find one like me. But listen, how many black people who were blaming President Bush for what happened to them in Katrina, how many of them black people knew that Hurricane Katrina was coming? I'm not talking about the ones who were too poor to move. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones who just stayed. They got the money. They just stayed like we did in Mississippi. A lot of us did that. And now you on your rooftop. The flood then came, and you on your rooftop. And who you blaming for being on the rooftop? Secretary Noam, your rooftop moment coming. If people keep getting shot in their face, there's a point where you have to dial backwards. That's called humility. That's called being humble. You can't keep on spitting at people whenever they got the forks. They got the forks, and you know how they did town hangings back then. They ready to town hang you. The town ready to hang you. You can't spit in times like that. This ain't got nothing to do with how I feel. This love. I got mad love for Secretary Noam. I want to see her stay there. I know the Democrats don't like to hear that. They say it's impossible with the way she is. But I'm saying somebody, Secretary Noam, they going to get on your character in a second. They going to talk about how you shot that dog. I'm talking about, like, the insides. You know what I'm saying? Like their cruelty. That's why, like, they wouldn't. Yeah, y'all laughing, looking like that. I'm just saying that's what they're gonna start doing eventually. Ghost is here to warn you. He's here to help you. You want this on a vertical live feed with 200 people in here. You don't want Joe Rogan talking about this. You need to get ahead of this. Because Joe Rogan talk about this, I'm saying it could maim you permanently. If they one of them say the right thing, he could maim you permanently. Because you right there on the edge. So I'm saying they could play into your mentality like this girl shot and you just aggravated and agitated because they messing with you and she breaking the law. You can't shoot her in the head. You can't shoot her. And this not China. This not Russia. This is the United States. You cannot shoot her in the head in the U.S. No, not one. ICE agent. President Trump, Big Dog said, hey, listen, the Iranians, they killed how many people? We ain't for you slaughtering thousands. At least he said with the ICE agents, it wasn't really slaughtering. Yeah, President Trump, I'm not really too hard on the Big Dog. The Big Dog ain't really, he just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he want to be tough. All the stuff you talking, your policies, that's why you won the election. Nobody against your policies. Secretary known your policies right. What you saying about Renee Good agitating the police and breaking the law, you was right. She was sitting in the middle of the road. I don't care what the Democrats say. See how that go? I don't care what they say. You right. That girl was sitting in the middle of that road and she shouldn't have been. And when them federal officers, and this for anybody who watching this live stream, when a city officer, it don't matter what kind of law enforcement, they are a physical representation of federal law. That's what that ICE agent is, because y'all ain't aware of it. Go see it. When that physical representation of federal law tell you to get out that vehicle, it's only one thing you need to do. You need to put that vehicle in park and get out the vehicle. That's what you should have done. So, Secretary, no, you right. That's what she should have done. But she didn't. Now what you do? Oh, you ain't prepared for this. She didn't. You didn't prepare for it. They weren't going to listen to you. Y'all thought in November, December, y'all were like gods and y'all were untouchable and y'all forgot this is the United States of America. The power and control of the entire world is in America. Let's ride down the street in D.C. and let's ride to the United Nations. Headquarters, world headquarters, where it's at? New York City. Headquarters, where it's at? Washington, D.C. Headquarters, where it's at? Virginia. Headquarters, it's in America. The struggle of power is in America. Can y'all realize that? Do you realize that? That's why President Trump could flex his muscle almost in any theater in the entire world, even with China and Russia. Because China and Russia, they really don't want this smoke. I promise you. Putin seen it. Putin went after Ukraine and said they were going to win in how many hours? I heard 24, 48. Some people said 4 days, 96. It's been 4 years. He's still fighting that fight. He came this close to getting to Zelensky. He was close to getting Zelensky now. They was on the property. Just like the American soldiers went on Maduro's property, the Russian soldiers were on the Ukrainian property. They couldn't finish the job. The Americans did it in hours. Don't get it twisted. The Chinese know that. I don't care how much that's piping. They just be piping. The Chinese 10 years ago had a third world army. How many wars have the Chinese fought? Your training is completely different than that battlefield. America is hardened and war. I've been fighting wars we in the war. Even when we ain't got troops all around the world, ain't nobody want to challenge America's authority on the world stage. The balance of power in the whole world is in these 50 states. So politics in these states, you ain't going to be able to get nothing accomplished unless you got wisdom. Not your feelings, not you being right and wrong. You know how you right and wrong, but everything going in court, you losing. The judge's order trying to handicap you. If he could if that judge, them judges could decapitate ICE, they'll decapitate ICE. If you use the Insurgent Act, you're going to get embarrassed because them troops going right back where they came from once they get in court. All the Democrats do is bait you and switch you and beat you in court. They baiting you, they switching you, and they out-muscling you in court. They winning most of them cases in court. And in the meantime, the American people, that's what really matters, is them voters. That's what really matters, is them voters. That's what matters, is them voters. And the voters, they don't want to see no white girl, really no black person either, but especially not no white girl, get shot in her face by federal agents. And she ain't got a stick, a broom, a shovel. She in a vehicle. And you shoot her in her face because she agitating you. And you got an attitude about it because people don't like what they seeing. Forget the Democrats. This ain't got nothing to do with the Democrats. This ain't got nothing to do with Republicans. This got something to do with your boss, who is the American people. And your boss don't like with your job performance. Period. President Trump, you gonna pay the price for it. It'll trickle down to his cabinet members once the Democrats take control. They're going to put max pressure. They're going to be aiming at him. I promise you, the Democrats want a piece of you, Christie. And I know that's why you fired up. But you got to remember, babe, I was speaking positive about Secretary Nunn in every way with so much love. This ain't got nothing to do with, but that's what I'm saying. You're going to see it with Jasmine. She'll be mad at me too. I don't care. Go win that race. Because that's what I want you to win, that race. I don't care about your feelings. Because I say you pretty. I'm not being facetious. These women are gorgeous to me. And people, they respect that because they know my opinion with women. They know my past. But I'm saying, yeah, these women gorgeous to me. I don't care about your opinion, though. I care about the facts and the American people. And Jasmine, I want you to win that race. See, well, your opinion ain't going to matter. That slave patrol talk, it'll work right now. It ain't about whether or not she right or wrong. Because I'm saying if you looking for black and brown people, what kind of cops are these? The only cops, the only people they looking for is black and brown people. What kind of cops are these? Because see, if you a black man who writes civil law, you are aware of Jim Crow and Jim Crow laws. And Jim Crow is the police, that's where yeah. But I'm saying they ain't shooting no black people though, Jasmine. He ain't shooting no black people, so you can't really identify what they doing as racist as far as that go. But I'm saying you going after black and brown people only. And half the people that you detain, and not half of them, but a good deal of them are American citizens. Period. And the people don't like that. They don't want you coming after American citizens. How else you want me to tell you, baby? How you want me to tell you? You married. I could talk how I can make you feel. How you want me to tell you? You a married woman, but I could tell you as much love as I can. If I was standing in front of you, I'll hug you and give you a kiss on the cheek. If I feel like it'll save the American people and tell you as sweet as I can, I'll tell you on my knees. However you want me to tell you, I'll tell you, baby. I'm just being real with you, though. I ain't asking for nobody to listen to my advice. Them people didn't listen to weatherman advice either during hurricane, and then gonna try to say President Trump don't care about President Bush don't care about black people. You should have left your stupid tail from New Orleans when they told you to leave. Yeah. They call me a white supremacist and a racist. They confused. They don't understand me because you ain't never seen truth like this. You used to people telling the story slanted. That's why I told you from the get-go that there's nothing there. I don't hate President Trump. I don't care how much I love Jasmine, and I don't care how much what she's saying about him might be right. She can't get me to hate him. You know who gonna get me to hate President Trump is? He is. If he don't get me to hate him, ain't nobody else gonna get me to hate him. That's how Ghost is. Y'all not like that. If somebody call you and tell you to hate a complete stranger, you'll hate him. Because you a peon. You stand for nothing. You fall for anything. You got a mush for brains. Ghost ain't that dude. I'm not going to hate President Trump because I love President Obama or I love Michelle and Michelle hate President Trump. That don't make me hate him. I'm not going to hate him until he do something to make me hate him. I'm going to judge each individual person by the contents of their character, not by nothing else. Y'all understand that? That's how I get down. So y'all got to understand that. This ain't no identity politics. This is truth politics. People don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear the truth how you see it, the truth how you feel, the truth how you know it. I'm going to give you the unadulterated truth from the view of who? I'm going to stop saying the American people and I'm going to start saying your boss. That's how you need to look at that. We your boss. We say we don't like how you doing. You need to change that. Who you representing? Yourself? Who you represent? Only 25% of the population who support what you doing? Who you representing? You representing the people. The people are your boss. And if we tell you we don't like what you're doing, you need to change that ASAP. Period. No one's saying we voted for you, so we for you enforcing the law. Y'all get that? Donnie says he's talking to Titan Brew. That's what they say, but you need just a bit of faith and miracles happen. Don't diss Islam and then Christ is king. Y'all confused. What? Ain't nobody dissing Islam. But in my live stream, I'm going to tell you Christ is king because that's what I believe. If you believe Muhammad is king, that's what you believe. And I apologize for all the ignorant Americans who are dissing Islam. I would never diss Islam. But if you ask me what I believe, I'm going to tell you Christ is king. If you take that offensive, that's on you. I'm not getting offended when you say Muhammad is king. You feel me? Like a gay person get offended because I'm not gay. I think a woman, I could never understand the mentality of a man who's attracted to me. And I'm sitting here looking at these little these pretty, young too, gorgeous, older women. I love women. That's the greatest thing that God created for a man is a woman. A woman, not a girl, a woman. She could be a young woman. She be 27. She a woman. I don't discriminate as long as there is some legal, moral stuff. I'm not going to discriminate on her age, her race, her color. I love a 27-year-old like I love a 54-year-old, and I'm 45. Because I know some 54-year-olds right now, if they ever answer the phone, it's popping. You feel me? And I'm dead serious. Not playing, dead serious. I don't care about her race. I'm just different than y'all. I try to look at the stuff and do the stuff the way it's supposed to be. Not the way people say it or society says it, but you do got to follow the laws. You can't make your own rules and your own laws, but my style is based within the bounds of the law, the way that I believe and see things to be right and wrong. Point blank. So I never dish no Muslim. But if you ask me, I'm going to tell you straight up, Christ is king. I never throw a spitball at a gay person. I just don't understand how he could like a dude when God gave us a woman. God gave us Jasmine Crockett. You feel me? How you gonna like a dude and you got Jasmine? I'm finna go, what? Look at Jasmine. I don't care what dude in the world. And I look at Jasmine and I look at any dude in the world and it seems like you got a mind problem. If you I don't care what color you are. Think of a white girl, Britney Spears. Straight up. I'm dead serious. I'm not playing. I'm talking right now. Britney, where you at? I look at Britney and I look at any dude in the world. What? Where Britney at? Come on, girl, let's get it. I don't understand how you could like a man. I never understand that. But yet and still, I never be aggressive or mean towards a gay person. I think my background in civil rights, it got me confused, but it got me in the middle, the right spot. Like I understand the ACLU and they fight and they cause to protect marginalized people, even gays and transgenders, but I don't understand a transgender. Why am I change a sex that I was given naturally at birth? That don't make no sense to me. Because I don't understand it, I won't hate them. I won't despise them. I won't throw spitballs at them because you wrong. You breaking the law if you do that. Whether or not they gay or not. There's two, you could be right and wrong at the same time. I'm sorry that a lot of people had never came to that train of thought or that level of thought, but I'm here to give it to you. I'm going to look at everything, the entire picture, not just one part of it, the whole thing. Donnie says, if you want Doge to work, have Rand Paul be the leader of it. I agree with that. Following his son, I agree with that. It ain't no way in the world that you ain't gonna tell me that Rand Paul, he been doing this for decades. It ain't nothing against you, President Trump. He was doing it with President Obama too. We believe Rand Paul stands for what he stands for. Because Rand Paul been talking about that money and been standing up for them finance. He's a libertarian at heart. He a real libertarian. And we trust and believe what Rand Paul's saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate that, King Fire. Go ahead and get that foolishness out of here so we can have us a grown person conversations. My man says Jesus loved trans people. Yeah, Jesus loved everybody. That's facts. That's not no. What you call that? Cliche. Jesus loves trans people. He does. But that don't mean you right now because you trans. That don't mean you gotta pay. You gotta pay for what you do now. You understand that? God talk about men who change the natural use of a man. God says it's a natural use. In my opinion, anything you do against nature, that's the worst thing you could do. Because who is God and where is God? You want me to school you? Who and where is God? Okay, when you find that out, anything you do against nature, that's worse. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I could slap a man in the face and curse him out, and you going and changing your sex, that's changing something that God created you as. That's almost like blasphemy. That's what I believe. But that don't mean I'm going to spit on a trans person. That's why they'll say this is an LGBTQ safe zone. Whatever you want to say, you ain't going to come in here spitting on no humans around me. God ain't give you no authority to do nothing to no trans person. He told you to love them. That's the authority he gave you, to love them. I don't care if y'all don't like them. There's plenty of things that I love that I don't like because God told me to. I'm sorry you can't understand that. Oh, I'm not. It's like I said, I don't care who assault any religion. I'm not assaulting no religion. And I don't care nothing about no channel getting reported. If I had something against your religion, if you teaching people, listen, I just understand that that version of Islam that Iran teaching is not real Islam. I don't care what they say. I don't care what Quran they reading out of. I could read out the Old Testament and try to represent God like he was we supposed to go murder the infidel. I could read you a scripture out of Old Testament, and now all us Christians, that's not the real Islam and I understand that. That ain't me insulting Islam. That ain't got nothing to do with me insulting no Islam. I don't have nothing. Really, listen, so they believe in Muhammad. I don't believe in Muhammad. I believe Jesus is the Savior. But the Jews don't believe Jesus the Savior. Even though he a Jew, they killed him. I don't have nothing against the Jews. Why should I have something against the Muslims? Really, they two about the same to me because neither one of them believe in Jesus, and I do. I'm not like you. I don't have nothing against no Muslims. I don't have nothing against no Jews, period. I don't care nothing about no YouTube channel and nothing about no reports. You in the all truth zone, period. You talking about a Jew? You see how bad Nick Fuentes, the most popular YouTubers on the planet, insult the Jews. Why they ain't getting banned? And they insulting the Jews. YouTube gonna give us the freedom of speech. And we was in the early 2000s, and we were seeing a lot of people who were representing the Muslim religion going around killing people. I spoke against it then, and I will now. But I had a homegirl who was a Muslim, and she was in the school with a bunch of white kids, and during the 9/11, they were throwing paper airplanes at her. That might be funny to you. It wasn't funny to me. That was my homegirl. You throwing, and I know her. She's sweet as I don't know what. And you throwing paper airplanes at her. I never like when people pick on people about, I never liked it. Never. Before I filed one lawsuit, I never liked it. You white girls throwing paper airplanes at a girl that's Pakistani because of 9/11. And she ain't never dated nothing but a white dude. Her mama married a white man. She whiter than you. Now she is in America. They whiter than you. They love America. And you throwing paper airplanes at her. Cause what? See, I'm just not that. That's not what I am. Not at my core, me being the real me. You might have a moment where you hear me say a derogatory word against a white person, and then they're calling me a racist. In Michigan, on the ground, on the feet, the people were calling me a racist. And then a week ago, they called me a white supremacist because I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to fit in the boxes you fit in, boy. I never will. I call your name. Whoever you are, I ain't going to fit in your boxes. You in a black power box. I'm not in no black power box. Point blank. You try to play me like Stephen A. Smith, and all y'all people talking that black stuff, I'll start embarrassing y'all. You ain't doing nothing for the black community. What you doing for the black community, boy? How many black people, poor black people you fed in your lifetime? How many poor black people you fed in your lifetime? You know who you talking to, boy? You ain't doing nothing for the black community. How many civil rights lawsuits you fought for standing up against these same people who talking about they black right? They over there with the police and the military people doing that Jim Crow stuff. And you talking blue black power. And as soon as them people come, you gonna sell out the whole gang. He gonna be over there with the white people doing the Dave Chappelle with the KKK mask on. But he black power right now. You ain't black power like Martin Luther King. Happy Martin Luther King's Day, baby. Yeah. You see how I got that in there? Natural, and it fits. I ain't trying to get no clout out of Dr. King. You ain't clouded up like, you ain't gonna take no bullet for what you talking. You ain't gonna take no bullet. You ain't gonna be sleeping in your car for what you talking, boy. You ain't gonna be getting falsely arrested for what you talking. Them that he get on you, you gonna sell out the whole gang sitting over there with the police. But you come out and talk in public talking black power, and ain't doing nothing for the black community but running your mouth. You gotta understand the realness you dealing with. This stuff over here, real, boy. You getting it raw. Raw. From the car. This real. This civil rights. That's why I'm in the car, boy. You know who you talking to? You know who you talking to? That's because of the way Trump come across, King Judah. That's the way President Trump come across. He carry himself like that. You see that? Like, look, if you go in Chicago, you think, bro, I'll give you a rapper. Some of y'all might not be aware of the guys, the one of us who are. You know Lil Durk. If you know some of us, you know how much we love Lil Durk. Or let me say Young Boy, whichever one you want. Young Boy, Lil Durk, whichever one you like. You know how many people love Young Boy? But Young Boy can't go in certain places in Baton Rouge. The way we look at him outside of Baton Rouge, how we love him and he'll star, some places in Baton Rouge, he ain't gonna go by himself. Some places, Chicago, Durk ain't gonna go by himself. It's because of their persona and what they've done and their energy across their lifetime. I have a lot of ops and enemies. It's because of the way I am, the way I talk, the way I speak, carry myself and live my life and have in my past. I'm not apologetic about it. I'm a realist about it. I know people gonna oppose me. Stop crying, boy, and go get your shield and your sword, boy. Put that cross across your chest and get get the popping. For real talk. Up in here crying. I ain't doing no crying. I know people don't like me or don't oppose. I don't care. This ain't no popularity contest. I ain't in my feelings about nothing, boy. It is what it is. That's point blank facts, y'all. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to adjust this real quick. If y'all haven't liked the video, y'all go ahead, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Anybody who want to donate to the channel, bro, you can hit that button with the $ in it. Your donations are much appreciated. If you guys want to join a Truth Network, you know what I'm saying? All you guys got to do is hit the button with the $ in it. And once again, your donations are much appreciated. What we got, guys? Hour and a half. I felt like I came in here, bro. I've been passionate. Y'all, they told me to start reading stuff, you know what I'm saying, so I could start putting feeling in it. I put feeling in it. These my feelings. This how I feel. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats have all the momentum we've seen in the 2025 elections. The midterms, and this for you, Speaker Johnson, you celebrating that being down by 4 points, but you know the midterms, they still 7 months away, and that 4 points could be 14 points. And that's what's going to happen by the way things are going. People don't have a problem with President Trump's immigration policy. They have a problem with the execution and or the enforcement of that policy. People aren't happy with the Democratic Party. I said this before. This is my notes. 18% approve. Yet still, they beating the Republicans. And never forget, in 2022, the Democrats were underpolled, and I think they being underpolled again. That's what I think. I think it's a lot. Speaker Johnson, I think it's a lot worse than that. If them elections were held today, I think it'd be much worse. The Democrats got a lot of young candidates. They got a lot of progressive candidates. I told you Bernie Sanders and them, they running 1,000 candidates across America. A bunch of progressives, bro. All across America. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in my opinion, bro, what can I say? That's the handwriting on the wall. You gonna heed the handwriting or you not? That's on you. I don't care. Titan Bruce says, I never approach women and I've been married for 41 years. That's probably why. Because you a married man. You shouldn't be. Something says King Judah and he is making a profit like he is the CEO of his own business called America. But to be fair, every president made that profit, didn't they? President Obama made millions. As a matter of fact, in politics in general in America, all politicians really do that, right? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just being fair about it, like President Trump is making a profit, but that's politics. Every politician in America pretty much is doing that, right? I'm saying, like, I don't want to call nobody name. People be getting offended, but like a lot of politicians have become multi-millionaires, bro, in Congress on a $200,000, $300,000 a year salary. They came in there worth $1 million. Now they worth $200 million. Yeah. So I'm saying, how can you fault President Trump for getting his little money for 4 years? If every other president do it, you're going to lose the argument by trying to get on him for doing something that every other. That's why I don't lose arguments. I don't go down losing lanes. That's a losing lane. Every politician in America makes money off of politics. So why would President Trump be any different unless, number one, he did something illegal, or number two, he don't care about the people? That's what makes it look wrong. Because it's like the people aren't getting enough help or the help in quick enough. Look, we got on our taxes. When you going to get extra money on your taxes, people finna find that out. They're going to be happy about that. He said he got a health care plan, whether you agree with it or not. At least he making an effort to fix a problem that could destroy them. You see what I'm saying? I heard him speaking about affordability, or Caroline or the White House press secretary. They seem like they might be kind of focused on that a little bit with all the stuff going on in the world. But I'm saying you don't want it to be a little too late. And the way y'all handling immigration, that's not helping you at all. It's making it worse. So I'm saying if you put all these things together, that gives you a political climate. And then on top of that, when you look at the history, 2018 midterms, all the midterms go against the incumbent party. You know what I'm saying? 2024 wasn't midterms. Those were that was down ballot. That's what we call that. You see what I'm saying? Jasmine, her race is probably going to be the biggest race. And so that's not a presidential race. You get that? So these are congressional and governorships. And the rest of everything else is down ballot from there. So 2024 ain't a midterm, 2022 was. And if you look at 2022 numbers, the Democrats overperformed the polls. The Republicans did. That was the Democrats overperformed the polls in 2022. You see what I'm saying? But we've seen the Republicans and the way they performed. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, 2018, that was the last time President Trump was president during the midterms. And we see how that happened. I don't see it going no different. I see it being worse because the people knew President Trump. So I think they'll vote harder against him. That don't make sense to you? That's a big difference. If you have an employee and this employee is under 90 days and he made an error, that is a common error that a lot of employees make. And then you got an employee who been here for 9 years and he making that same error that employee making that's only been here. He's still making common errors after 9 years. You gonna hold that 9-year employee at a higher... See, y'all don't understand the psyche of the American voter like ghosts do. They're going to hold President Trump to a higher standard if they turn on him. I can't say all the independents turned on him because he could savage some of them. It's about whether the Democrats win the House and the Senate to me at this point. I think he's lost confidence in the American people at large, and the ones he didn't lose confidence in, because Ghost ain't completely lost confidence in President Trump. But what I'm saying is I want to see the Democrats take over so there could be some checks and balances. I think that's necessary. I don't think we should just be relying on all of our dispute settling coming from the court. I think the Democrats need some power because the Republicans are failing to check and balance some of that stuff coming from President Trump because he don't have nobody in his cabinet. I mean, look, Secretary Noem ain't going to push back on, look, I don't even know if he's saying it, but I know Secretary Noem, I heard her say that while we don't respect what President Trump's saying, we do. I'm saying, who he's saying, I'm trying to figure who she's saying. She can't be talking about the people. Baby girl, we decide whether or not you're going to stay there or not. It's us. We can remove President Trump in the next election. If the Democrats get enough for Senate, I think you need 60 votes for an impeachment vote. If the Democrats, it's going to be difficult. But I'm saying if Lindsey Graham is being challenged in South Carolina and John Conan, if Jasmine beats whoever the Democrat is, if you see Texas, that seat getting taken by a Democrat in Texas, you already know what time it is. The Republicans lost the House and the Senate. If you can't hold South Carolina and you can't hold Texas, slocking, they're going to run the board. Them Democrats going to run the board on you in the East, Midwest, and the West. If you can't hold the South, that's why that race with Jasmine is so important. If the Democrats win in Texas and South Carolina, because they said Lindsey Graham, his seat in trouble. Don't ask me. I'm telling you this. I'm giving you I don't give y'all sources for some of these people because I ain't trying to throw them under the bus. But if you challenge me, I'm going to give you the source for it. He in trouble. He asking the people to donate. I seen with myself, what's Lindsey Graham, the other South Carolina senator? They asking people to donate to Lindsey Graham. What? Couldn't believe it. From police to pirates. Look, King Fire, here's my thing. They could be. Look, I want to see. People are gonna have disrespect or disdain for law enforcement. They're law enforcement. I understand that. People hate me because I sue them. I sue people. They can't stand me. Even though I might sue the police, they don't like that. I mean, a lot. Well, you know, the real gangsters, they pat me on the back and salute me. But a lot of people don't want you suing their police department or suing their city or their community. So I understand, like, I'm doing civil law with the police doing. A lot of people ain't gonna like the police, but the police got a job to do. They got to execute that law. Those ICE agents, how much we paying each one of them ICE agents? Somebody look it up. $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. Just coming in, $100,000 a year. Bro, they ain't finna be around there sipping no coffee and eating no donuts. Boy, you better get out there and catch them immigrants. They got a job to do. Ain't nobody hating on that. They are supposed to, they're duly, I mean, what can I say? President Trump, President Obama so President Biden might have been more liberal and wanted to abolish ICE, but Republicans, that's the consequences of your actions. Because if the Democrats take control of everything, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big push to get rid of ICE. The more progressive and liberal they get, but that's because you making ICE look like what you making them look like. Like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about Mayor Fry or Governor Walz. They doing what they're supposed to do. They are Democrats. That's their state. That's their city. What you expect them to get up there and say, Secretary? No. That's what I'm saying. You got to have, I know the amount of wisdom you have because I could tell by how you responding to certain things. So I know if I work for a Republican president, and President Trump, of all presidents, it don't matter if they hate him more than other presidents. President Trump knew that 10 years ago. Get over it. Adjust to it. Change your strategy and go around it. Stop sitting around here crying, saying how much it's unfair they don't like him. You get over it. Okay? So look, if I'm a Republican, I know that they don't like President Trump and they're going to resist his policies. I already know that. And I know we got to go get these criminals. I'm not crying about what Mayor Fry or Governor Walz is doing. I'm going to be doing just the opposite. I'm a smooth operator when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm going to slide through the back door on you. Oh, they want to move like this? I'm going to move accordingly. I'm not going to be on TV crying, doing all this other stuff, giving the American people really you going at the American people. Look, those might be liberals in Minnesota, but them liberals going to turn out and you losing everything in Minnesota. You could count that an L. If it's a safe red Republican seat in Minnesota, that thing is pink right now. It might turn light blue. And Minnesota, if you know anything about the Midwest, a lot of times, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, they all start trending in the same direction. Minnesota, so that spread across Wisconsin. That was a regional event. Really, it was an international event with you shooting that girl. An international event. And you okay with that? ICE, you okay with that? You tripling down and doubling down on international events. With us Americans, we watching one of our own citizens being shot in the face by a federal agent. That is never good. You gotta swallow your pride and care about your boss, who is the American people. You gotta swallow your pride. Yeah, Mayor Fry is wrong. Yeah, Governor Walz is wrong, but they doing what they supposed to do. Whenever y'all get in control, y'all gonna have Mayor Republican gonna be wrong and Governor Republican gonna be wrong too. We see it happen on both sides. Ain't the American people don't care about that. I'm trying to tell you. That's why they leaving the Republican Party and they leaving the Democratic Party, and they are proud and registering as independents. Or they calling themselves independents. Because they don't care about that stuff. They tired of your infighting. I don't care nothing about no Republican or no Democrat. I don't care about that. Secretary Noam, baby, I got a lot of respect for you and a lot of love for you, sweetheart. You got to see that for what that is. Sweetheart, you got to see it for what it is. Ain't nobody hating on you. That's love. Secretary Noam, did your mama ever spank you? Your mama might not have ever spanked you. You know what I'm saying? Not hating on you, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all, like, that's just how it is. The cultures. And our culture, ask my mama to spank me 3 times in one day. And my mama got them hard, she got them hard swings. When she was in her third, look, my mama was the type who would cut grass, who go to work for 12 hours and come home and cut the grass. See, that type of female, raising 3 bad black children, you know, Tupac, dear mama, raising 3 bad black kids on her own. She that kind. So I'm saying mama come home and mama gonna tear your tail up. You gotta understand that's where I'm from, my community. We got whoopings when we were younger, when we went wrong. But ain't nobody in this world love me more than my mama. Right, wrong, or indifferent. She don't agree with a lot of stuff I do and say. I'm an independent thinker. I'm different than my sisters. But I'm saying, like, still and all, though, that is what it is. That's a part of the game. Like, you know, I ain't got nothing against Secretary Noam, nothing against President Trump. I don't care how much I like AOC or what she say about them, or I don't care how much I like Jasmine. See, if you look on my YouTube and you see me following all them Democrats, you're going to think on my Instagram, you're going to think I'm a Democrat. You're going to think I'm a liberal. I don't care what you think. Because that's not what I am. I'm watching them and hear how they hating on you. I hear them hating on you every day. I don't care nothing about what I love Jasmine to death. Look, I'll be married to, because my wife tell me not to. Nah, you better not be. If you saying something or you doing something to my wife, I'm going to come pop you in your eye. That's the kind I am. But she could tell me every day how she don't like a certain person or the people at their job. I'm probably not going to be fond of you, but I'm not going to hate you. That's the person I am. I don't hate other people off the words of even someone I like. My mama could have a friend that she didn't like, but I still speak to the woman. I'm not going to be cool with her or be friends, but I still speak to her. I don't hate people unless they do something to me personally. Now, if I'm married to you, that's different. And somebody do something to you, what the Bible say, me and you are one, 2 become 1. So if you do something to my wife or my family, that's different. I'm going to roll with them. I'm loyal. That's my people. But Jasmine ain't my wife. AOC ain't, you see what I'm saying? They just politicians I support. And regardless of what the Democrats say about President Trump, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to just come out and tell y'all the truth. What I feel like is the truth. Yeah, I heard Jasmine say that slave patrol, and I wouldn't have said that in public. But in the private, I would say that's what it looked like. You going after only black and brown people? What you call that? Y'all don't know what Jim Crow is, do y'all? Y'all forgot. Some of us too young to know what Jim Crow is. Who you think was implementing that? That was police. Yeah. So I understand like her saying that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wouldn't do that after March. I wouldn't do that in April. In the general, you talking to the majority of the voters, but right now she trying to charge up the base. She trying to get black people energized. I understand what she's doing. 5 million black people didn't vote. If she get 20% of them 5 million black people to go vote for her, she'll win easily. She get 10% of them to vote in the primary. I don't care how many of y'all Republicans come out and try to vote against Jasmine. You gonna lose. If she energized them black people, that race is over. There's 5 million blacks in Texas that didn't vote. 5 million. If I'm not mistaken, Ted Cruz, Beto, when he ran again, I think it's like they each got 5 million votes. So you saying it's 5 extra million out there, black people who ain't even voting at all? If she get 1 million of them, it's over with. 20% of them, it's over with. Yeah, King Fire, independent first. 45% of Americans are independent. 45% are independents. That's it's all you almost 50%. Look, for y'all who say y'all are not for or don't believe an independent party, I'm saying if you get over 50% of Americans who consider themselves as independent, maybe it's time to run a third candidate as an independent. It might not have worked in the 80s. It might not have worked in the 90s. Bernie, it might not have worked in 2010. And Bernie said he don't trust it to work in 2024. That's why he running his 1,000 independents as Democrats. Y'all know Bernie Sanders is an independent who caucus with the Democrats. What I'm telling you, Bernie, is I'm saying if you get to about 4 more years from now, it's looking like you might get 50% of the population who identifies independents. So I'm wondering who gonna run as that third party independent. I'm saying President Trump, if he coming out right now, he might be able to win 47% of the vote as a third party independent. Might. But winning independence is different than winning Republicans. Winning independence is different than winning Democrats. You got to get in the middle. The majority of American people are not conservative no more. They're in the middle. They tired of y'all Republicans. They're tired of y'all Democrats. Y'all, hour and 50 minutes we've been streaming. I appreciate the love and support. It's Big Ghostwriter, man. Republicans are bound to lose at least 5 to 10 seats in Congress. And that'll give the Democrats control of the House of Representatives. That's what's on the agenda. Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike, y'all. 9 more minutes, guys. Y'all know how we get down. If y'all want to keep Big Ghostwriter around when I come back, if not, we'll get ready to get the intro, man. I love y'all, man. Peace and love to every last one of y'all, man. Republicans, too. If Secretary None watch this, I ain't got nothing against you. It's the way you taking that, man. Real talk. It's the way you look at it. Listen, I had to come back and get here. That's why I was saying, when they come correcting me, it's the way I take it. I could be like, nah, man. It's not about correcting you. It's about showing you the way that people look at it. Ain't nobody telling nobody to take my advice. I'm not asking for no advice. I'm not asking for people to take my advice. I'm just trying to show you the way the American people are looking at your playbook that you running. Brian, see, you said that before. I don't see it. It ain't no way in the world you ain't finna have no 6 or 7 seat majority. That's a fairy tale. You might lose 6 or 7 seats, but the Republicans are not having no majority in the House of Representatives. Not after what we've seen. It's just about how many seats y'all gonna lose by. That's what I'm saying. You might you do good to control this. Keep the Senate. Now you still got to work to keep the Senate, and you got to work to keep from losing 40 seats. But Brian, see, if you ever listen to Ghostwriter ever before, and you come on here donating and support me all the time, so you must think something about my opinion. I think the Republicans have crossed that line, and they are definitely losing the House. And I'm calling it right now. I endorse it. You know I'm going to stand all 10 on that. And when I come out right, I'm going to let y'all know I was right. Y'all know how I get down. I'm standing all 10 on that. The American people, if you listening to Ghost that represents that 45%, I'm saying for those 45% of us, the way we see it, we want to see some checks and balances on this. So the Democrats need to take power. You see what I'm saying? We want to see some checks and balances on what's going on. I've seen too many troubling things. it's not going to help them, because when Florida changed their congressional, Brian, you tried that with Texas. How did that turn out for you? So when Florida do it, you think the Democrats going to just sit back and let Florida do it, and they not. And Brian, even when you change your congressional map in Florida, look what happened in Miami. You'll still lose with the map looking like that. You will still lose. The American people are aware of the games that the Republicans are playing. They're aware of the games the Democrats are playing. You are not going to outmaneuver and outsmart the American people. The Republicans have been trying to get around these midterms, trying to cheat. President Trump even playing, saying he going to cancel them because he know what's coming. You can't cheat your way out of this. You're not picking up no more seats. You're not getting around this spanking. The American people, the boss, you're not getting around what you got coming. Change the way you enforce the law. And that's how you get around it. Listen to Ghost when he tell you something the first time. You're going to wait till 2025 to go try to talk to the people and do rallies after you lost their confidence. Ghost said, back when you put tariffs on the whole world, that you need to get out there and do town halls and start talking to the people. You didn't want to do it then. So you know what the Democrats did? They got out there and they started organizing. And they started fighting out. They was doing the stuff. So you know what happened? Now the Democrats tapped in with the people. They could call a rally. The Democrats could call a protest on you tomorrow. 1,000 cities all over America. And the Democrats got 8 million people they could put in the streets against the Trump campaign. That's how organized they are. You're not winning those midterms. You might keep the Senate. You're going to lose some seats in the House. Hakeem Jeffries, the next Speaker of the House. Facts. I don't care how many maps you draw. Whatever map you draw, they're going to draw one too. Whatever map you change, they're going to change one too. Bottom line. You tried that with Texas, Brian. They tried that with Texas. How that turn out for you? Did that turn out too good for you? Nope. And you know it's not turning out good for them. You can't do that in Florida. That's not going to help you. You could draw however many seats. When you finish, one of them Democratic governors going to do it right back to you. You're going to be in the same spot. You got to change the way that you are enforcing the law. Period. Change it. Or you don't. And the storm going to meet up with you. Going to meet the storm in November. You change the way that you enforcing the law. Don't change your policy. The American people with you on your policy. Half the independents aren't with you on the policy. I'm talking about now you done lost most of the independents. They gone. Can't get them back. Ghost one of the last ones of us. Joe Rogan, you losing him. Ghost one of the last ones still trying to stand with you. And you come screaming at me talking about child molesters. What? Can you imagine you coming, Brian C., you coming at me talking about child molesters, and every boss you got, a half of your boss are child molesters. And you talking to me about you care about child molesters, and the man who telling you to do what you doing is a child molester. Bro, you can't, that stuff, it's not authentic. But Brian C., I'm not a liberal. I am not a liberal. AOC is what y'all call a liberal, but AOC will be a better president, don't get me started, than some of these people who say they Republicans. AOC ain't on no Epstein list. AOC ain't never been accused of no corruption. AOC, her daddy wasn't no extremely rich man. AOC came out as a server, as a regular person, Brian, like me and you. I know she don't believe in what you believe in, but what I'm saying as a politician, she's a better politician. She just like us, a regular person. We the people, representative government. That's what we need. We need some waitresses to be president. We need some, by the time we figure it out, our country gonna be gone. We need farmers. We need a regular jackleg farmer who don't know nothing about politics. That's the man who gonna do the best job. The American people starting to see it. That's why they voting against regular politicians. If J.D. Vance looked like a regular politician, if the Democrats come out with a hope and change candidate, he gonna smoke J.D. I'm trying to tell you, because people are tired of politics as usual. They're tired of it. They're tired of it. And what President Trump is doing looks like politics as usual. The police have been shooting people in the face in America since the beginning of time. Oh, now they shooting white girls. That's the only difference. Politics as usual. They've been sick of that. Black people were sick of that back then. Now the white people, now they gonna say, we see what black people was going for. You gonna make them come. Bro, I'm telling you, they tired of it. They sick of your lies. They sick of seeing a man get shot in the neck and you come out half explaining what happened to him with some lame story that we know that's not all the way true. We sick of that. Sick of it. That's what I'm saying. We sick of that. We sick of going to the Middle East and staying in the Middle East with foreign wars. Sick of it. Sick of that. They're talking about they sick of America being united with Israel. I'm not on that train. But that's what all the popular with them. They saying they sick of that. But I'm trying to tell you, you got to adjust. The American people, Brian C., King Fire, Titan Brew, the American people are the boss. We got to go with what they say. You said how did hope and change work in 2008? You got a two-term Democratic, first black two-term president ever. He had a 2.3 GDP, gross domestic product. He had the most consecutive months of job grade than any president of that time. I mean, what you mean, Brian C.? Like his economy wasn't bad. He had stock market gains, record stock market gains, just like President Trump did. I'm saying, like, what we didn't, well, I can't say involved in no new wars because he did start some skirmishes. But I'm saying, what you mean? He delivered health care. He's the most popular president other than Ronald Reagan. That's what I'm saying, Brian C. Like, it's not about whether or not it's working, Brian. So you got to understand what Ghost tell y'all. I'm telling you how the voters, they are tired of business as usual in politics. Y'all always be focused on, a Democrat is a Democrat. Y'all be focused on a Republican is. I don't think like that. I do not care. Barack Obama was a Democrat. I don't care. I do not care that President Trump is a Republican or Kristi Noem is a Republican. That's your care. I do not care. Y'all got to get that. Understand that ghosts don't care what they are. I call a woman, female Republican's office in Mississippi, who they said called a black man an N-word. And all the black people talk about her in Mississippi are used to saying she was a racist. Her name is Senator Hyde Smith. I called Senator Hyde Smith's office and they didn't care if I was black. I didn't care if she was white. I didn't care if she was a Republican. I had a problem. I had a need. They met the needs of the people. Period. Cindy Hyde Smith for Senate in the state of Mississippi. Period. I don't care. I support Cindy Hyde Smith in Mississippi. I support Senator Cochran in Mississippi. They Republicans. Deep red Republicans. And at the same time, I love VP Harris. And at the same time, I love AOC. And then, no, I'm not picking no side. I don't care. Y'all need to get where I'm at. Not y'all. The majority of Americans already where I'm at. They voting for both sides. They don't care about your party. We tried your party. Screw your party. Your party protecting pedophiles. Talking about you care. Oh, we getting pedophiles off the streets. All the pedophiles are in the office in power. That's where the pedophiles are. How you getting them off the streets? Oh, you getting the ones that don't matter off the streets. Or you getting the suppliers of the drug trade off the streets. But all the consumers of the drug trade are your leaders. And they in power. Come on, man. I'm going to just give it to y'all raw. You got to come off authentic to the people. You can't, hey, where the Epstein file list names at? Where the names at? You gonna give Bill Clinton and call him to testify. That's too political. The American people see what you're doing. That's why you can't get no prosecution on Letitia James. That's embarrassing. You embarrassing yourself. You ain't doing that to me. That ain't got nothing to do with Pam Bondi. So I ain't attacking AG Bondi. I am not attacking AG Bondi. This ain't got nothing to do with AG Bondi. You can't get an indictment on Letitia. Tried 2 times and failed twice. Charges got thrown in the trash. James Comey in the trash. And you investigate Mayor. That's going in the trash. Nobody cares. I ain't nobody said we ain't fortunate to have President Trump. President Trump, in my opinion, I'm more conservative than I am liberal. Y'all don't care if y'all don't like that. That's facts. Yeah, we wouldn't want all them people in America. Yeah, get them people out of here. It's just the way he's doing it. Yeah, men don't need to play in women's sports. That's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. That's why the Democrats lost the election. Me ain't no men need to play in. Why we even having that argument? Whatever man say that, I'm going to come slap you 5 times. Come beat the snot out of you. A man going to play in a woman's sport. That's what I'm saying. Ghost just going to tell you the truth. It ain't got nothing to do with no color. Me believing in Jesus, that's the truth in my mind and my heart, but that's what I believe. I'm going to tell you if it's I believe, and I'm not going to disrespect your religion and not going to tolerate you disrespecting my Jesus. Just be real. That's what I am, bro. I'm going to give it to y'all 1,000. Vince Jackson's talking Titan Brew says, thank you for your response. I just let me know the Father that loves us always keep his people nearby. You're one of us. Like that, Vincent Jackson. I really like that comment, brother. That's positivity. King Fire says he didn't do nothing for me. He killed Kadif. Bro, look, man, look, and then look, I'm gonna tell you too, I could go so much harder on the Republicans. I really can. So much harder. But I don't. I'm cool with a lot of people that's done. I would say naturally, my family, they're probably Democrats naturally. It's just we grew up in church around Jesus. Thank you for the donation. So that changed and made me conservative. I got conservative views, moral values. But I'm going to just tell you the truth. I don't care how you feel. We're going to see in November. Brian, see, I feel that, baby. You know, Florida's switching up the map. They tried it in Texas. But where it's staying right now, and the Republicans got 18 seats in trouble. It's 18 seats, California, New York, across America, that the Democrats are set to pick up right now. 18 seats. I wish I could screen share. I'll show y'all the map. 18 of them. I ain't going to say the Democrats going to win them all, but they going to win at least 10 of those seats. 10 of those seats, it's a wrap. You gone. Hakeem Jeffries, that's what's coming. The American people, they going to want balance. We gave you the House, thinnest majority ever, the Senate, and you got the Supreme Court, for peace sake. And you out here shooting women in the face trying to defend it because you right. And you and your feelings. He said, claiming parties. What kind of parties? You talking about them Jeffrey parties? You know what I'm saying? You tell me about like you looking for a child molester that ain't molesting no children. It's a fake child molester, but he brown. He got accused of molesting children, but you got one that you sitting there eating tea with every day, sipping tea with that you know a child molester. But you ain't gonna never say nothing to him though. Now you gotta be authentic with Ghost, man. You can't come at Ghost with no fake stuff, because I'm gonna call you on one of the best litigators you will meet in your life. Y'all ain't gotta tell y'all if y'all in America, man, especially if y'all out here on the East Coast, y'all know there's snow out there on the ground, boy. I heard it was 20 degrees in Florida, boy. Woo! You know what I'm saying? There's snow out there on the ground, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cold out here, boy. Titan Bruce says, my mother brought me a big old cake yesterday, and it's got me all hooked. Faith, Family, and Freedom says Trump immigration policy will gain him seats. We're not talking about the policy. The policy already did that. So you wrong on that. President Trump's immigration policy already gained him the presidency. So you did wrong on that. His policy. They voted on the policy already because y'all don't know politics. I don't care who you work for. You could work for Fox News. You don't know politics. We're going to find out. Just like picking a football game, boy, we're going to find out. This ain't rigged like them football games are, though. I'm going to show you. You don't challenge me, boy. Never. If I'm telling you something I know what I'm talking about. They voted on his policy. You get that? They already voted on his policy in 2024. So Faith, Family, and Freedom, you have right. He won 2024. That's his policy. Now, in 2026, they're going to vote on the execution of said policy. They're going to vote on enforcement of said policy. You Republicans are scared to death. That's why you tried to cheat in Texas, it failed. Brian C. saying y'all trying to cheat in Florida, it failed. And now you saying and doing and running and scratching and screaming and everything. But you still gonna lose. Because you don't care about your boss. Your boss is the American people. And your boss say they don't like what you're doing, but you don't want to listen. So do it the way you want to do it. It's a hurricane category 5 on its way. It'll be here in November. Appreciate it. He said, thank you for the cake. MJ says, thank you for the cake. Lisa, what you scared of? What I'm scared of? The Bible says to fear God. That's what the Bible said. That's who I fear. I don't fear no man. The Bible said fear God. Who I'm fearing? What I'm scared of? I'm smart. I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to go to jail. If you calling the police on me, I'm not going to play with you. I don't play with people who try to get people in jail. Black people calling the police on other black people, and they're going to be talking about some black rights or black power, and you calling the police on another black person. Oh, I'm trying to help them. You so stupid. You over there, them Republican, them racist people, how you doing anything they want you to do. And how these people, black power, some of them I support, they as stupid as the bottom of my shoe. It's Trump people and people who hate black people who got another black person over there acting like an idiot, hating on other black people. And you black power. I don't want to hear it. I'll call your car. You got to know what you're dealing with. Brian said, hey, Greenland gonna take y'all off the map. I got a live stream coming on Thursday. Y'all go look him up. His name is Senator Bacon. Shout out Senator Bacon. I salute Senator Bacon. We need to stand up for Senator Bacon. Senator Bacon, if I'm not mistaken, he was like a general, a 4-star general, 2-3-star general in the military. And now he's a senator. That man goated up, mad respect, service for his country. He loved his country. Well, Senator Bacon said taking Greenland by military force is so egregious that if President Trump went to embark on them journey, a lot of Republicans will vote to remove him. 60 votes in the Senate, he gone. If that man's saying that, it's only one reason a Republican would be saying that. We know his military past, affiliation, probably NATO, all of that, but I guarantee you the constituents and bro, you don't understand that stuff you talking right now is dangerous. Because ain't nobody in Europe gonna come out and tell you that they'll try to assassinate you. Y'all think I'm crazy if y'all want to. Them people in Iran threaten to assassinate him. But they'll say it publicly. Ain't nobody in Europe gonna say it. And their connection's way better than Iran. You talking about attacking Greenland, that ain't something, I wouldn't even play like that. I wouldn't even say that to get leverage. You gonna go to war with the people who stood next to you and whenever you needed them, NATO. You going to war with NATO. I'm talking about the Europeans sending troops to Greenland. Maybe that's what President Trump wanted them to do, to beef it up, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying, period, America has to have Greenland. Like, he talking like it ain't gonna be no kind of nothing without what? You gonna if you try to militarily take over Greenland, I think that's gonna be the end of it. I think it's gonna end one way or the other. It's gonna come to an end. You're gonna cross a line. There's certain people that's protecting you, they're not gonna protect you after that. They're gonna think that you incompetent. See, you could change a lot of things. The tariffs they'll sue you with, you could change this, they'll sue you with. You could change that, they'll oppose you with. And you could change that, they'll sue you with. But you talking about changing the whole world order where you're going to attack an American ally. You know how many European in America that that's a road. There's certain roads, I just think that you insane to go down. You got to be able to, how you say you diplomatic and you going to attack them, you leaving military options on the table. So now, we need the United Kingdom for American security. Brian, we need the United Kingdom for American security, so we going to go take over England. Hey. We need France for American security. I promise you that. Just take my word for it. So we gonna go take over France. Hey. I mean, for real. He said on Fox News, dude saying that me supporting Jasmine Crockett, he said something wrong with me support. I don't have no brain support, and I'm a 1,000 times smarter than that dude. But he's supporting this dude, what I'm talking about. Oh, we gonna go take over Mexico and Canada, and we gonna take over the whole world. We gonna go take over China because we need it for American security. Sound like an imbecile. Look, you going to get Maduro. You had charges on him, so you brought him back to a court and the judge. You got permission from a court and the judge. You gonna go attack an American ally militarily. You have to be insane. That's the devil telling you to do that. Because that's going to be your downfall right there, boy. I can promise you that. Two, that's a bridge too far. No. See, the Democrat who come behind you, they can't fix that. A lot of the stuff you doing, they gonna be able to fix. Some of it they ain't gonna be able to turn back. But I'm saying you, like, as a single person, he already reformed it. You could leave it, but you still can't attack a American friend. You cannot do that, Brian. See, that's you are going too far. That's a bridge too far. You too much bravado. I know you got a little excited when you saw America's forces so successful in Venezuela. You know that power, they power thirsty, Brian. See, the taste of power and control over millions of people's lives, you could get you thirsty and you can't balance it, and it gets you delirious and you start talking crazy like, nah, you finna take over the whole world, pinky in the brain. Oh, we finna take over England. We need it for national security. Trust me, I know it. Boy, they gonna bend it. Boy, they gonna be looking for you. You can't move like that. You don't understand what it is. You missing the point. Go ahead on with your bad self, though. I'm gonna get my popcorn and I'm gonna just watch it. Because I know what I'm talking about. I'm just finna watch it. You don't want to cross no line. That's why they pumped the brakes on him in Iran. What? Like, dude, you get that bravado. You get too. I know some people who thirsty for power, that power, it's like an adrenaline rush. On your word, they gonna go snatch a powerful man. Just go snatch him. You are in charge of the most powerful military in the world. So Brian C is like an adrenaline rush. He hyped up on that. He jacked up on that. And now him and Senator Graham on Air Force One, they finna take over the whole world. We finna get Cuba. We gonna go take Greenland. We gonna go take the United Kingdom. We gonna go take France. We gonna go take Russia. We gonna go take China. We gonna go take over the world. You say it's clown stuff, man. I'm just being real with you. What you want? No, they can't tell you like Ghost could tell you. Ghost gonna tell you in a way that ain't nobody else could tell you. He gonna give you common sense. He gonna give you basic intelligence and complex intelligence. And I'm gonna argue my point. And it'll be dead right. You got a Republican senator who is goaded, a general, mad respect, saying he'll remove you from all. You know that energy he got, that's going to grow. That's telling you where he at. If he'll say that, you know every Democrat, they already going to want to remove you. Even Senator Bacon, when the Democrats take over 2027, they going to try to remove you. Senator Bacon going to vote against it. But he's saying Greenland is a red line. That's a bridge too far. We don't play like that. You could want to change whatever you want to in the world order. I understand. It ain't that Dunroe doctrine is a make-believe nothingness. But if you want to perpetrate American isolism, see the difference is, and with these other presidents, when they had the Monroe doctrine, tell me if I was wrong. Whether the Republicans or Democrats really supported it at the time, I'm saying those policies, American interventionism, those policies were embraced by everything President Trump doing, Brian C. When the Democrat come in, he's throwing it in the trash. It's just a temporary fad. I know he wanted to be like that, but as soon as he left office, President Biden left the most people ever that came in America in 4 years. In 2 years, he let them all in. I think he had to wait for a year for the rest of President Trump's policies to run out 2 years. And whenever President Trump's he got the authority, he opened up the floodgates and let 25 million. And that's what's going to happen, President Trump. As soon as you leave, you're not wise enough to see it. If you're going to make a policy, you need to make a policy that all of America's going to embrace. You're talking about taking over Denmark and just keeping American isolated on this side. The Democrats not embracing what you're talking about. They might keep a tariff or two, something that benefits America, but that your foreign policy, you know they're not going to keep your foreign policy. When you leave office, they're going to be trying to put you in jail. Again. You know they're not keeping your foreign policy. They're going to try to lock you up. Y'all tell me where I'm wrong at. Y'all know I be spitting dead facts. Brian C. donating, so I'm still streaming. 2.5 hours. We're going to try to hit 3. Y'all know I be spitting dead facts. Tell me where I'm wrong at. I know, but that's what I'm saying, Dusty. That's what he called it the Monroe Doctrine. I think you misinterpreting what the Monroe Doctrine is, but I got love for you, so I'll help you out, my brother. We'll go ahead and look on the Monroe Doctrine, and I'll tell you what I mean since you questioned my reference to the Monroe Doctrine. I'll tell you exactly what I mean with my reference. So the Monroe Doctrine, if y'all give me just a second, we'll go to Google and get our trusted friend Google to help us out. So the Monroe Doctrine is a U.S. foreign policy that opposes European colonialism is in the Western Hemisphere, asserting that further colonization is a threat to U.S. security and that European intervention is Americans is a hostile act. Articulated by President James Monroe in 1823, key principles, separation of Americas and Europe, historically initially backed by British Navy, later enforced by U.S. Army, impacting U.S. foreign policy and its relationship with Latin America. That's what it is. It's about the Western Hemisphere and control. That's why he trying to run every nation, every power out the Western Hemisphere and have America control the Western Hemisphere. He gonna give Europe to Putin and give Asia to China to cheat. The Dunroad Doctrine. You gotta go attack Greenland by force. I'm sorry. You're going to have to build that golden dome in Greenland without getting them by force. It's up to them if they sell their country to you. If they choose not to, it ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about it. That you ain't going to pay drastically for. That's going to be that's going to be game over. That Greenland thing, you go in the game for you. I heard some dude who used to work for President Trump said after the midterms, President Trump just gonna go crazy. He ain't gonna care no more. Bro, the country's already prepared for all of this. And it's just this person talking. It might not be what President Trump feeling or thinking or what's gonna happen. I just wanted to put it out there though. MLK Day, celebrating our leaders. The cane, baby. The cane. Hey, we got some Trump supporters. Trump has my vote, my kids' votes, my family's votes, my neighbors' votes, and everyone I work with also be voting Republican, and most in the list, Hispanics. Trump. More black fatigue host, if that's what you call that. I don't even know what that would mean. That's some word salad stuff. Come speak some English to me. What's black fatigue host? More black rannies. I don't care. I don't know what you're talking about, Greg. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. What I'm supposed to rant? I'm a black man. What I'm supposed to rant? Since you want to bring up race on some other stuff, what I'm supposed to talk about? That's lame. What's up, Johnny? Greg, if you tired of me, then go move to Africa then. You tired of me, go move to his Spain. Or bow down and kiss the ring. Ain't nobody care. You think somebody care about what you feel or how you feel. You care about Greg's feelings? Do we care about Greg's feelings? We're Greg's mama. We care about how Greg feels. Nobody care how you feel, bro. It's the real world. Wake up. Reality. You living in Disney's land. You around here thinking people care how you feel. Nobody care how you feel. You could give an opinion. No one cares how you feel, Greg. You don't know that yet? How old are you? You must be 12 or a bot. Yeah, ain't nobody care about how nobody feel. Let's be real. Y'all care about how somebody feel. Let's be real. Your own mama don't care about how you feel. She don't care about how I feel. She say, boy, you 45 years old. Let's be real, man. Y'all act like y'all living in some little kid land. Ain't nobody care how nobody feel. You gonna lose the election talking about feelings. This ain't about no feelings, boy. This is about what's really real. Oh, that's good, Greg. And Greg, you act like you speaking for somebody. Who you speaking for? The KKK? Who you speaking for? Ain't nobody care about you either, Greg. The feelings reciprocated, boy. That's what you don't understand. You in here expressing you bro, you depressed. That's what that is. That's a form of depression. Hiding in plain sight. Ain't no happy people act like that, Greg. I don't go attacking people like that because I don't care. There's so many people I don't like. I don't have time for that energy. That energy has no place within inside of me. Greg, you miserable. I pray for you. Johnny, yes, of course I follow Jesus. Yeah, Greg, Carey, thank you. Carey, I'm going to make you go ahead and make you a moderator. Because you right about that. That boy sound like a fool. All the haters, my boy King Fire said all the haters in the chat, man, y'all hit that like button. Gotta show the haters love too. Johnny said, how do you go to heaven? You go to heaven by accepting the blood of Jesus Christ. And he asked me. He asked me. I don't come out there and say, hey, Muslims, you wrong. See, y'all, you just don't, approach. President Trump got the right policy, the wrong enforcement. Y'all might have the truth of the gospel. It's the way you do it. I'm not going to go out there and spit on no Muslims. He asked me. So this is God giving me the opportunity to let them know with love to Muslims and everybody who want to listen to me that I believe in the blood, the death, burial, and this is key. I don't talk about this as much as I should. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, the righteous. Christ is King. There is no other. There is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. No other name. Christ is King. There ain't nothing to argue about, boy. That's what I believe. To me, that don't matter. What color Jesus' skin was, what nationality he was, that's the devil trying to get you to focus, to lose focus on what Jesus talked about. Let's talk about what Jesus talked about, how he lived. Since you want to say that, instead of talking about what color his skin was, how about I could tell you this? What if somebody, what's this dude named Johnny or J. Carlo or Kerry or King Fire? What if somebody, one of your homeboys, he straight played you to the left, he disrespected you. And he disrespected you so bad, he went to the ops and he backdoored you. And he had you set up to get crucified. And you know he did it. He tried to run game on you or run some kind of play on you. And you got to sitting at the table and you know what he did. He didn't set you up for 30 pieces of silver or for 30 racks. He set you up for 30 racks and you know what he did. So you know what you do? You stand up and you call him out. What you gonna do right then, Johnny or King Fire or Kerry? If you could kill him and get away with it, what you gonna do? You know what Jesus said? He stood up and he said, a new commandment I give unto thee, that ye love one another. What? He must have then heard what I said. Gee, you say the dude finna backdoor you, man. You finna die. 30 racks. You God, you got the power. Go ahead and kill that fool. A new commandment I give unto thee. What would you do if you was Jesus? The most righteous man I know in that situation, Judas would have been dead. He would have been stinking. He would have killed him, slapped him, spit on him. You ain't not righteous. Jesus Christ the righteous. He worthy. Don't tell me about the color of his sin. Tell me about the words that came out of his mouth. I ain't just saying he worthy because I'm bored. I ain't saying worthy because it's a cliche. I ain't saying he worthy because the preacher or my mama told me to. I'm telling y'all he worthy because he worthy. Facts. Greg, I gave you an opportunity, bro. You got to take your hate somewhere down the road. We don't need it here. Your hate is not welcome here. J. Carlo, I'm going to put you in timeout. You come back whenever you get that out of yourself. Richard, I have no idea what you talking about. So if these bots, we going to time these bots out. Kerry says Trump is the opposite of Christ, and yeah, that is an argument. You know what I'm saying? But you could say that really about almost any politician. You know, some people say Trump is the clean out the dirty group. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to go down that road. 2.5 hours, y'all, we've been rocking. I just want to say thank you to Brian C. supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Republicans, man. Like Brian C. and them, they come in here and they rock with me because they know Big Ghost got a conservative mentality. They know Ghost ain't afraid of no Democrats, Republicans, about nobody. He know I don't hate nobody. He know I'm speaking from a heart of love. And speaking from a heart of love, I'm just telling y'all what I see, man. Real talk. I see the Republicans losing at least 5 to 10 seats. At least. I'm going to keep on every month. I'm going to make a live stream saying that. So y'all know I'm standing on that. The only way that's going to change is if I see consecutive months of President Trump moving in a different direction with immigration, affordability, a bunch of different stuff. Although his policy is right, he won the election on his policy, the enforcement of his policy. His economy is good. The carrying out, tariffs, affordability, he's just lacking on a little bit. Because he's not on that ballot, any Republican who think you safe, we're going to see. You're going to see what Ghost's really about. If you get back safe, I'm going to tell you before the election. If the Republicans going to lose the House, I'm calling it before the election. They losing the Senate, I'm predicting it before the election. So we're going to see. Some of these seats in particular, head-to-head, one-on-one matchups on these seats, I'm going to predict some of these seats for y'all directly. You know what I'm saying? So man, I wouldn't call Trump the Antichrist, man. Not Ghost. I'm saying I can't put no labels on somebody unless I got proof that that person is what I'm calling them. I'm saying I don't see no proof, or nobody got any proof that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't move like that. Not Ghost, man. That's just not how I move. It's my heart. It's where I'm coming from when I say it. That's what makes the difference. It's love. And that's real. It's a heart of love, man. It ain't no animosity. It ain't no hatred. I'm not a Democrat. I don't have a personal vendetta against President Trump or Kristi Noem or any of President Trump's cabinet or any Republican or not. I tell y'all about Cindy Hyde Smith and Thad Cochran all the time. And that's just facts. Just being real. Midterm swap most of the times anyway, that is true. I'm going to make you a moderator. Because what you saying is true. Marquester, that's the second time I seen you make a comment like that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the midterms, they do swap most of the time anyway. So why would you hurt your chances even more by trying to be John Wayne? You should have been John Wayne in 2027 if you got any sense. Because the base ain't going to get you elected again. They're not, the MAGA base is not going to win no midterm elections. It's not enough of them. I'm trying to tell you, you don't got to believe me. Them states of California, I don't see how y'all going to hold Florida. I don't care how green, how blue it is. The demographics of Florida, those races are district by district. The statewide races, yeah, y'all probably still win them statewide races. Them district races, y'all going to get shocked in some of them districts. Them districts full of black and brown people. What you doing with immigration, man, I'm telling you, you're going to be shocked. Them Democrats and independents who, they're going to go back home to the Democrats. Them blacks and them Hispanics, they going back to the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, I seen one up here in New York. This is my right hand to God. Right up there, Cameron's. It's on the camera. I talked to a young 21-year-old black and Hispanic man, his opinion of what's going on. Them young people, you know, young people, progressives. I'm surprised he got a 21-year-old black Hispanic in New York voting for you, President Trump. But you know that young people are naturally liberal and older people are naturally more conservative. So I'm saying they don't understand people getting shot in the face. He only 21 years old. They gonna turn on you. You ain't got to listen to Ghost when, like I said, we going to see about it come November. Trump is the most powerful man in the world right now. Right now, today. Come talk to me in 2029. That's what you don't realize. You think it's going to last forever. You think you're going to live forever. You think you untouchable. You think you are exalting yourself in the heavens like you are the most high, and you shall soon be humble. I won't want to be the most powerful man in the world. You get too close to God and you ain't humble, he going to strike you down. Don't believe it. Think it's funny. Think it's a fairy tale. We are all sinners. What's that mean? Yeah, even politicians. That's true. Exactly, King Fire. That's what I'm saying. Exactly what you just said. That's what I'm saying. I feel that. I feel that. Well, yeah, that's my time, y'all. I told y'all I'm a Christian, man. Every day I wake up, man. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I say, this the first thing. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. As I said, Brian C., I wish they listened to us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about conservative people by nature. Brian C. wouldn't support a Jasmine Crockett yet. But y'all keep going down that pathway, Brian C. gonna be supporting that too. Because you don't understand the game. Ghost he gonna give it to you. They keep on listening to 5 years, they gonna realize within 5 years, y'all gonna realize who I am. You don't know now, it's a joke. You don't get it. Y'all, it came in on the transition. I had just won in the U.S. Court of Appeals, and after that, I'm thinking I made it. I hadn't made it yet, so I'm still crawling and working towards that greatness. But that's not changing what I'm telling you. I'm telling you a storm coming by the wisdom of one wise man. That wisdom saved the whole city, and he was not remembered for it, y'all. But even though I won't be remembered for the wisdom, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. You might not remember me for my wisdom. You might not take my advice, but I'm going to rejoice in this day. I'm going to be glad in it. Secretary Noam, I'm going to pray for you. President Trump, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for my country. I'm going to pray for my America, and I'm going to pray for my unity. And that ain't no fantasy or no pipe dream, because usually you get a lot of commotion and chaos before you get peace. That peace coming is going to come with or without you. It's your choice. I love you, man. You could see the promised land, or you might not make it to see it, but that peace and that harmony and that prosperity for the whole world is going to come with or without you. Whether you be the one preside over it or not, that's going to be your choice. Y'all, that's my time, man. I love y'all. I promise y'all. My heart always in the right place, man. You know what I'm saying? Big ghostwriter. I speak with that boldness because I know it's coming from a place of love. If you don't receive it on like that, that's on you. That's not on me. That's your heart wrong. That's you got an attitude. That's you got a problem. That's not me. I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, it's Big Ghostwriter, baby. I'm out.